sports fans, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday morning quarterbacks on Saturday. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The quarterbacks are live on Saturday morning, and no one is safe while we troll the digital airwaves. Join us as we discuss the latest news in the world of sports and we review the events of the past week. No fantasy sports here. We keep it real, and you need to remember, we kill brain cells. And as such, we just might be the purveyors of the zombie apocalypse. You have been warned. We are repetitive and redundant, and we are the internet's ongoing traffic wreck. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. It is a glorious morning, and we are live on almost everything: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. It is glorious, and thank you. Of course, I'm the scorekeeper, and thank you, everyone, for joining us. I think it's thank you. I think you can tell I'm tired. Oh, boy. I think I called it around 2 a.m. So, wah. Yes, I know. Everyone's all like, you did this, you did that yesterday. Yes. My daughter and I had a phenomenal Friday. My pocketbook isn't real happy about it. Boy, did I strike a blow for freedom or the capitalist system. It is lighter today. Jeez. But we had a blast. We went out, saw Black Widow, and then, like fools, we joined up for the Rego yearly pass thingy. And then we went ahead and, wow, I think it was, we did some shopping after that. And then I think we had a meal or two somewhere. Goodness, I don't know what we did. Oh, yeah, actually, we did. And then, of course, we went to the game. And even though the Dodgers bought it yesterday, they bought the loss. They didn't have it in them. The Arizona Diamondbacks were just much better than them. They did it, got it done, and it was over. But we had a blast, and it was good. I'm tired. Then we went out for dinner after the game. When the game ended at 10:40, fireworks show didn't go on till around 11. Oh, mother of... Anyway, wow. Tired. It's the best I can tell you. But it's good. I'm whining. I'm moaning. Can't have any of that right now. It is a wonderful July 10th, 2021. And it's only 69 degrees right now here at the NDB Media World headquarters. Whew. We have a 1% chance of rain, though. It's going to get to a high of 92 degrees, which I guess isn't too bad for how it's been lately. It's going to be an overnight low of 67 for tonight upcoming, which we've already passed that 69. Whew. Man, I'm tired. Woohoo. Tell you I was tired. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to go on this one, but we'll see. Humidity is 66%. The pressure is 29.92 inches. We are at 10 miles on the visibility. There's zero wind at the moment. The dew point is 57 degrees. UV index, of course, since the sun has not officially risen, is 0 of 10. And we are in a new moon phase. Today in history, of course, a lot of stuff, and we're just going to touch on a few of them right now, but we'll do the birthdays and things like that in just a moment. But back in 1943, Arthur Ashe, the very same that ESPN named the Courage Award for, the first African-American inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame, was born. He won 33 career titles. In 1951, Sugar Ray Robinson was defeated for only the second time in 133 fights as Randy Turpin took the middleweight crown. In 1984, Dwight Gooden of the New York Mets, at the tender age of 19 years, 7 months, and 24 years old, became the youngest player to appear in an All-Star game as a pitcher. Wow. Good morning, Gridiron Grill. Thank you for joining me. I haven't had a hit yet. I'm tired. No other way I can say it. Forgive me. Oh, I'm so tired of that's way too hot. But thank you. I had a blast, even though the Dodgers didn't do it yesterday. Still had a blast. Back in 1993, Kenyan runner Yobis Ondieki became the first man to run 10,000 meters in less than 27 minutes. In 1999, this was a big deal, and I believe this one was here in LA, if I'm not mistaken. The U.S. women's soccer team defeated China to win the 1999 World Cup tournament. Yay, go USA! Heck yeah. Oh, that's today in history. Roz, thank you for being here from the very beginning. That's how we begin. We always go over the weather. I don't know why, but we've always done it as a joke. I think because for a short while, I told Big Dog that I wanted to have a regular radio program vibe. So we were going to do weather and traffic. We've done traffic here on Sports Talk with the Guys. And it's fun. We were doing it at every 15 minutes or every 10 minutes. I don't know. KFWB used to do it at every 10 minutes. I think KMA got MAX. Well, that's Channel 34. That's not the same. KNX 1070. They do it on the ones every 10 minutes. So it is what it is. Appreciate it. Thank you, Roz, for the love this morning. Of course, we set a record, 32 likes. So now that's it. We're going to repeat it only because it's only fair. Sports Talk with the Guys, 30 likes, $5. So, we're already at 2 now. Gridiron Girl, thank you. So terribly exciting. A lot of fun. Woohoo! Damn, I'm tired. Sorry. I can't make this up. But that is why we did the whatever it is that we did. And it was kind of cool. Oh, yeah, the weather. Because we used to do the traffic as well. So I know you can probably hear me tapping away and typing. It takes a little bit to get there. But I think we already did a history look at today. Here's one for you. My local college just announced the end of a scientific study. Results showed that out of 2,293,618,367 people, 94% are too lazy to actually read that number. Do you like that one? Well, here's another one for you. Hope you like this one. The marriage between the elderly farmer and his young wife is not working out too well, so the farmer consulted his doctor for advice. The next time you're down in the field plowing and you feel a yearning for your wife, don't wait until lunchtime or the end of the day. Quit what you're doing and go to the house, said the doctor. I tried that, said the farmer. But by the time I got to the house, I'm so tuckered out, it's no use. The doctor thought for a moment. Take your shotgun with you when you leave the house in the morning and you feel the urge. Shoot the gun, and she will come down there where you are. A few weeks later, the two met on the street. Hey, young man, how did it go? Fine. The first 3 days, said the farmer, but the hunting season opened and I haven't seen her since. I know, a little lame, huh? Oh, here we go. I guess he didn't see it there, but I just sent it to him now. Good morning, Matthew. He's going to be joining me shortly. Oh, did I send it to him twice? I guess I did. There, now everyone has it. There. God bless America. That's the way it is. And boy, did Speedy get in there fast. Good morning, Speedy.
Good morning. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing real well. Hey, so how's everything, pal? How'd the hated ones do last night?
Oh, I don't know. I was busy last night.
Oh, what was Speedy Gonzalez doing?
Well, my church is going to San Francisco in like 2 hours, so I'm only going to be here for 2 hours today.
Oh, okay. Sounds fair. Appreciate it, Matt. I don't know how long I'm going to be going myself because I am exhausted. I want to give a shout to DVA Mechanics, listening to us on Twitch. Thank you. Good morning. Appreciate it. And it is, like I say, a glorious morning. And by the way, a little bit of history. This is major, major history in the world of sports. Back in 1934, on this day, National League pitcher Carl Hubble strikes out in succession Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin for Major League Baseball's All-Star Game record for consecutive strikeouts. But the American League still win 9-7. And I believe that one was in 1934, the first All-Star Game. Woohoo! That was a long time ago, Matthew. And we're approaching, in 3 years, we're approaching the 90th anniversary to that one. So I guess that means we're at the 87th anniversary. I don't know. My math is failing me way too early in the morning.
I'm not good at math. I never was, so don't ask me.
All right, fair enough. Well, we're going to take a quick look at Down Under and National Rugby League play into Leicester Premiership. Round 17. Games in the book so far. Raiders. Oh, my God. The Raiders. 30. The Sea Eagles, 16. The Rabbitohs, 46. The Cowboys, 18. See, in whichever universe, the Cowboys still lose. The Bulldogs lost to the Roosters 22-16. And tonight at 11:05 p.m., the Sharks visit the Warriors. And it looks like everyone else is having to bye for round 18. I mean, in round 17. For round 18, the first games begin. Wow, is it really today? Yeah, I think you have a round 18 game at 11 a.m. Oh, at 1 a.m. Ugh. On the 16th. Okay, so next week begins on the 16th at 1 a.m. our time, Pacific time. So go figure that out. In cricket, West Indies win by 18, 145 over the Australian men, 127. And today, right now, Pakistan won the toss and elected to bowl. England men, 143, Pakistan, zilch. And Zimbabwe versus Bangladesh. It's just a test, and it's a men's only test. Wow. I think Zimbabwe really put it to the Bangladesh men put it 468 to 276 and 284 to 82. Folks, I don't care what you're watching, don't care what you're listening to. That's a blowout. Mother of mercy. They got
And you might have to apologize again, because did you say the Sharks versus the Warriors? I think you're that didn't sound right to me at all when you said that.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that's rugby league play. Sharks versus the Warriors. Yes,
Okay.
It is. Yeah, it's there. Come on, Matt. I'm barely staying awake right now. Don't do that to me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is, and it's correct, so we're okay. We're going to go ahead and continue. Again, thank you, everyone, for watching us. It is a glorious morning. We're already 15 minutes in. I am so tired. I am just so tired. Okay, we're gonna be good. So, Matthew, what's going on in the world of Speedy?
Oh, a lot. A lot's been happening, a lot's going on, but nothing, there's little exciting things here and there, but nothing too exciting. Except for the fact that last night on SmackDown, my good friend Shanti Blackheart, everybody at APW, we're so proud of you. Your major SmackDown debut last night. Woo!
Awesome. Congratulations. Hopefully we could have the individual honor program one of these days.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You never know, man. You never know. And that would be cool. I know the big dog and I were talking about some events. We even mentioned a little bit of wrestling. I'll be damned if I remember what it was. But I'm sure the big dog will bring it up as soon as he joins us. He's probably having internet issues right now. But just to show you how serious we were about doing news and the weather, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at Southern California traffic. It was a bit of a joke. We were doing this for a while because we wanted a more serious vibe in what we were going to be doing. But it looks like we're going to be taking a look at it now. So freeways look pretty clear in the Inland Empire. No jams in the San Gabriel Valley. Everything looks good, surprisingly. Wow. I got to tell you. Yeah, freeways look okay. Go Southern California. I know.
And apparently there was an earthquake last week and yesterday too. But I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, up in Lake Tahoe, there was a 5.9 and then a 4.8 aftershock. I forget the actual day. I don't know if it was Wednesday. I think it was.
It was Wednesday, I think.
Yeah. Did Jim Ross join AEW?
Yes, he joined them 2 years ago. So right in the summer of 2018, he made peace with Vince McMahon and WWE and thanked him for letting him do the commentary for them, and then he parted ways, and now he's the AEW commentator. So,
Well, there it is. So, yes, he did. Made the move.
and thank you, Rodman, for that, because also, thank God, no more basketball. We don't have to worry about that. AEW gets to return to its home on Wednesday nights. No more this Friday, Saturday, 10 p.m. time slot. That threw everybody off because nobody could really watch anything on Friday and Saturday because they've got work or other things going on Friday and Saturday night. So, but when AEW returns to Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., because they said no more basketball.
You seem a tad unhappy about that, Matt.
Well, yeah, because I don't care about basketball anymore. I haven't.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew. What was that? You don't care about basketball?
The hell?
Yeah, Big Dog joined right at the right time too.
What the hell?
Hey, I don't know.
Speedy, you want to go ahead and explain yourself to the Big Dog? Because it was priceless what you said.
Well, Rosalind asked, she thought she was flipping channels last night.
Oh, we're going to blame Rosalind now.
No, I'm just saying. She said that she thought she heard Jim Ross's voice and went back. Wait, what was that? Oh, and she stopped the channel. Yeah, that was Jim Ross. He joined AEW. He's on their commentary team. It was cool to know that he went to AEW, but, he had to leave WWE at some point. But they go back to Wednesday nights. I was just telling Scorekeeper and everybody in the chat room here, Big Dog, that thank God. Basketball, well, for TNT it's over, so they go back to Wednesday night. Thank God.
Well, you do know it's going to change again, right?
Yes, I know.
Just goes to show you where they put the wrestling on the pecking scale, because hockey, which is, of course, the least watched of all the four major sports, will take its spot. And AEW will be moving to TBS, which, of course, is the not as popular channel as TNT. Oh, Mikey, what's up?
Hey, fellas.
How they
Morning.
hanging?
Not too bad.
Hey, speaking of how they're hanging, Almighty.
Huh?
Speaking of how they're hanging, Almighty, can you do me a solid? I know you've already done this, but I'm exhausted. In the private chat, don't put in the big chat. In our private chat, put your email address so we can get this done. By the way, congratulations to Almighty.
You didn't get my message?
Oh, like when?
I sent you through the.
He doesn't check messages. Trust me.
Whoa! I need to clarify. Actually, I will clarify. I am not always on Facebook. People think that just because I'm on there, I read the messages on Facebook. I don't. And people get mad at me because I allegedly don't read messages.
Well,
I tell everyone I don't use the instant messenger. So.
Well, I just put it in the chat, whatever, the Facebook chat thing where we usually talk back and forth, so I thought that you would get it.
Oh,
he put it in that one. Okay.
Oh.
Because usually you see my message, but I guess you didn't. But I mean, I know I can do that. That's no worries.
We had 2 winners on the Nightmare Hunter last Monday because we finally crossed not only 30, but we got to 32 actual likes. The reality is it's much higher, but only certain numbers of the likes are counted, and we're terribly happy. We had over 30 since we won the cup, so to speak, from all the other programs. We celebrated and we gave out 2 $5 prizes. And Almighty Sports was the genius. He was the man. He knew it all. Yeah, his number was chosen.
I don't know shit, man. I thought I'd jump in since we were so close to 30. I've been watching the show, and then you said, "Well, we're at 27 or something," and I said,
"Yeah,
all right. I'm going to try and push us over the edge because we were so close."
Yeah,
we've been trying to hit 30 for weeks.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I had the record at 27 for a bit, and then at 28 due to some chicanery due to my co-hosts and other programs, they got to 28. And they stood with 28 for a long time. They're like, all right, fine. And I've gotten so close, 25 regularly. And then it was last Monday night where we got to 25. We stayed there for a little while. And then all of a sudden, like Richard heard, boom, 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 boom. And we went to 32 like that. And it happened fast. It was good.
Well, I was surprised that I was surprised I won because I just joined. I listened all night, but I just hit the like button. Next thing I know, I won. It's like, I'm going to do this more often. But
well, we had 2 winners.
Yeah, we did. You did pick 2, and that was amazing.
And that was only because we did cross 30. So, folks, here on Sports Talk with the Guys, I'm not going to say it's a safe bet, but if we get 30 likes on our Facebook channel, I guess it's the Facebook channel. On any of our Facebook channels, if we get 30 likes. But if you like my personal page, I don't believe it shows up right here due to the security stuff. So if you go to any other channel, give us a like. We're trying to get to 30, so it's really good stuff. So, Almighty, oh, okay.
Oh.
I know. Was that apropos or what? So
he just showed up just long enough to get his $5.
All right. Well, poor guy didn't even stay around for the $5 because I'm going to send it to him right now. And okay. What's this?
How are you feeling by chance, scorekeeper?
I'm exhausted. I'm barely awake.
You posted at 1:17 in the morning.
I didn't get home till around, good God, maybe 2:30. No. I think I got home by 2:30. And wow, it was crazy. But speaking of crazy, there he is. Look at that. Right there, baby. Right there. There he is.
The stud muffin is now Mike Oxbig?
Yeah. Good to know, big
Who
dog.
is Mike Oxbig? Who is Mike Oxbig?
I love that you said it 3 times.
No! No! Now we're gonna
Uh-huh.
get field juice. Oh, hold on a minute. What the hell, big dog? You should have known better. Damn it.
I love that scorekeeper extended himself like,
I know.
well, actually on the Brady Bunch, and he just leaned over. Hey, even though I'm in between them here on the screen, but hey, it does look like the Brady Bunch. Like he leaned, yeah, see, just like that.
Get it yet,
And
Okay.
Big Dog has no reaction. Like he's not even phased by it. Like whatever. But then again,
I don't
that's
think he
Big Dog.
gets it yet. Say it slowly.
The way scorekeeper looked over, but he wasn't looking at me. He was looking at Big Dog. Like, why didn't you tell me? What's going on with you? And Big Dog just sits there like, I'm not even going to look back at scorekeeper.
Yeah.
That was great.
I thought scorekeeper was going to be the one to announce it, and it would have been even better.
I would assume he's the character in DA's book.
He still doesn't get it. Say it slowly.
No,
You got to put the emphasis on the right syllable.
I know. I'm not going to.
Oh man, you can change it back, scorekeeper, whatever you want. I just thought it was
No,
a fun
you-
gag.
I think it's
okay.
absolutely awesome. I rarely ever correct the choices of my hosts. So it's all, ooh, that was a little supremacist right there. My hosts. I apologize, my fellow co hosts. Just like, I don't like using that language, and I don't like, as Big Dog knows, I think
Freudian
the first
slip.
few episodes, it was a Freudian slip. So, yes. And the other one is Big Dog would always say, and thank you for joining us on the show. I'm like, ow, dude, that's,
It's an
I've
episode.
never,
You know what,
Yes.
scorekeeper?
our
It's okay.
program, our program.
It's okay if you say my host because that just equates yourself with the parasite.
Oh, was I supposed to say no to that? Anyway, Almighty, again, congratulations. When you get a chance, go ahead and verify it. I sent it over to you again. Almighty was a winner of one of our draws on Monday, and we still got to get the second winner. But anyway, so yeah, Big Dog, I am exhausted. I had a long day yesterday with Gmo, and then later on with Mixmaster Mike, as you know him, Michael Perez. We had a blast yesterday, but Gmo and I started the day.
Oh, how was it? So Gmo didn't go to the game?
No, she did.
Oh, okay, because when you tagged it, you didn't mention your daughter at all, so just wondering.
That is the female. This is funny. Every time I tag Rosalina Knight, everyone says, "Who is that?" Including the Big Dog.
Oh, that's
And
right. Now I remember
And
now.
he's done it numerous times, and he does it again. It's like, who is that? It's my daughter.
I guess it shows how much I care. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, so he's a good person. So there we go.
When he gives a crap.
There may be some truth to that, but he's still the big dog. So,
And scorekeeper, I gotta give you props because you basically did what I used to do when helping out APW for shows when we would drive all night to Bakersfield, do the show there, and basically come back at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You did it.
I appreciate that. Big Dog and I did it as well when we went up there, drove back, had breakfast, and still did the program. But the program didn't go very long, did it, Big Dog?
Well, I mean, not like it does in StreamYard where we're going 4 hours. But we still did 2.5 hours. But you were lucky. You were home. I had to drive home after that.
Yeah, I remember that. So, what happened this time to save us a little bit when we went to the game, Mixmaster Mike, I recommended to him because he was going to drive to the stadium, and I said, "Dude, it's $20 for parking, dude." You know, Frank McCourt is still getting his money out of Dodger fans, even though he's no longer the owner, but he does own the parking lot, so he's good at it. That's how he made his billions in parking lots. But anyway,
Hey, so Scorekeeper, how was the movie? How was Black Widow?
I will still give it a positive vibe. I don't want to spoil anything because it will be discussed on Spoiler Cast on Friday night on July. What the hell is it? July. Good God, I can't even see it right here. July 16th, this Friday. Spoiler Cast. That's going to be one of the first movies we talk about, but I will give it a bit of a positive review, being that some people are going to refer to this as an origin movie. There was some history that had to be established, and even though it was prescient, it was right on for Black Widow. It was really cool to see it on video, for lack of a better word. But it due to the character of Black Widow, the weight of it begins to drag it down a little bit. So that was maybe in the middle part of the movie. But as far as the movie itself, there were several significant surprises in it. And it took a while for the Marvel humor to take place. Because again, the weight of the story has to get you going. So the drama is, most of it is up front. So when the movie finally, you start to get a feel for the movie halfway through, and then it's a good time by the end of the movie.
So on an A through
Black Widow is a good date.
So on an A through F scale, what did you give it?
I don't do lettering grades. I've never done a lettering grade, but that's okay,
Fine.
Big Dog.
No,
Big Dog.
On a 1 to 5 scale, then what did you give it?
Actually, I don't either. So let me try to answer your question.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
I hadn't given it thought, so I don't have an answer. So now, thinking about it, I would give it. I'm a little indecisive, but I would give it somewhere between a B- and a C+.
So you would err on the side of the B- because it's Scarlett Johansson.
Well, I'd love to give her a D grade, but that's not appropriate. Well, there was a moment that I yawned in the movie because it was like all of a sudden I was like, "Whoa!" It had slowed down that much. But for me, again, I don't want to say anything else. But again, you need to understand that the weight of the character being established, the past history, it took a while to get there.
I think this was always going to be a hard one.
Oh, yes.
Aside from that,
that's what she said.
This was going to be a difficult movie to make because Black Widow doesn't technically have like superpowers, so the special effects are going to be lagging. So they're going to be relying more on storyline to get it through.
Yeah, but she still has gadgets.
But I don't know if... Okay, I agree on that. I guess we are talking about it a little bit, folks. That's interesting you say that because the movie runs at a good clip. But early on, like I say, it takes a while to go through the backstory. There is action. There's good stuff going on. But like I said, it does slow a little bit. But after that, if you're paying attention, it will reward you. So,
did you like the post credit scene?
Yes. Knowing what I do of the universe, like, oh, come on, people. It's almost revisionist history. But yes, the post credit scene is good. So
just
you
one
are
or
getting a.
two?
There was one.
Oh, okay.
I have yet to see it, but I'm going to be going into it on Monday. with the mindset of I'm going to go watch a spy movie versus a
From
Marvel superhero movie.
from my understanding, I haven't seen it yet either, and maybe Almighty can confirm or not confirm it. I've heard it's more close to the Marvel Comics lore. That it sticks a lot to the original story from the original Marvel universe.
Okay.
You and Almighty clearly know more. I don't like talking about how much in comics I know, just because when people find out I like comics, they're like, "Oh God, it never ends." But I do. I don't let on, and that's what I'm telling you, Big Dog. Having to go back into the history of Black Widow, I think Marvel did a good job on it, but getting to where they needed to be, that's why the movie is a bit weighty. I didn't say it was bad. I just said that due to the weight of the Black Widow character and the history, it does get a little heavy in the middle of the movie because it's got to transition to getting back to the storyline of the movie. I didn't say it was bad. It does slow down a bit. That's all. Is it a good Marvel movie? In my humble opinion, I believe Marvel delivered yet again.
Well, I will say since it trailed on the coattails of Fast 9, I think the main thing it had going for it was you can't beat Black Widow because you can't beat family.
You've not seen the movie?
No.
Okay, I won't say anything. It was good. Just remember that line. That's all I'm going to say. That was pretty good.
Well, yeah,
There is enough.
I was gonna say that's the meme that's going through everywhere. So
Yeah. So just check it out when you get a chance. Folks, I've already heard some people rip this movie and harshly. And these
well
are the
deservedly,
apron stringers. I'm sorry.
well deservedly. Fast 9. Oh my God!
Oh
There's nine.
no,
There's
I'm
nine.
sorry.
Oh,
I
okay. Well,
apologize. I was. Yeah, I know. We transitioned without even knowing. Just very quickly, I meant Black Widow.
oh, okay.
People
Never
are
mind.
ripping this movie, and I don't get why. The apron stringers are out loose. They have nothing better because the movie is far from what a lot of the apron stringers have written. But Fast 9, I haven't seen it. I will see it sometime this week. But what were you saying, Big Dog?
I was just gonna say Fast 9. The kindest words I can give the franchise is that it's a crap. They're craptastic movies.
Did you see the movie?
Okay. There have been 9 movies or 9 in the
No,
franchise or what? Hold on. There has been 9 or 10 movies, whatever it's been, and I have watched maybe a total of about 7 minutes of the entire franchise. That's how much I want to see it.
Then, Big Dog, you've seen all 9 movies.
There we go. That's what I figured.
Explosion,
That's
car
what I
racing,
figured.
explosion, car racing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Family.
It's a craptastic movie, which means it's a crappy movie, but it's got some fantastic CGI and special effects, so you enjoy your hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah. I saw maybe about 8 to 10 minutes of one movie, and I got it. I got it. It's the same. It's everything.
Pretty much. Yep.
It might have been 3 minutes of one movie, 2 minutes of another, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
But it's all the same.
that's about where I am. That's about where I am, and it was probably like movies 2 and 3, or maybe 1 and 3, or something like that. And I got the gist and what I've read.
I will say this: if you're a fan of cars, if you're a fan of racing and drifting and all that, that's a completely different story for you. You know, if you're a fan of Vin Diesel, if you're a fan of a lot of guns and shooting and just then you might enjoy the movie a lot more.
They're good movies to numb the brain.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And so I haven't watched all of them. I think I've watched maybe 6 or 7, but I enjoyed them. I mean, you just sit there and you enjoy the ride. I mean,
Yeah, like I said, you go in there to watch, to forget about the world for an hour and a half to 2 hours, however long it is, and
yeah.
it does the job. It takes you away from that and gets you to enjoy it.
But for being craptastic, it has
Yeah.
9 movies. For being
Yeah,
craptastic, it
and
has
Oh
nine
yeah.
movies. I
I
mean,
guarantee you, with what they brought in at the box office, there will be a 10, possibly an 11, because it's still drawing an audience. It's still doing all this shit, so people are gonna keep going to see it. It's just recycle the plot, lather, rinse, repeat. Do the same thing. People are gonna come see it. Bigger
Yeah. The only thing
explosions.
they're do. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say more lather on the next one, and then
Yeah.
more lather on the next one.
Okay, well, before you guys decide to rip one particular, the Greeks wrote 32 storylines. They told every story conceivable.
True.
Ever since the Greeks wrote, everything else has been, as
Yeah.
as
That
Dream said, lather,
that is
rinse,
true.
repeat.
That is true. But
So,
some of them are very much well made since that point,
You're
and
gonna
very
see
very.
you're gonna see
Go ahead.
Fast 12, and Vin Diesel's gonna be launching his car into space, blowing shit up in there.
Uh, but
They're gonna
he's
find a
got to
way.
get out. By Fast and Furious 15, he'll have to get out of his walker to get into his car. But hey, it'll work.
He'll have one of those handicap vans. He just
There you
wheels
go.
over. Yeah.
all right, well, fair enough, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. I don't want to come across as any more ignorant than we are, talking about a series of movies that we haven't seen yet. So I don't want to go ahead and rip other people if they enjoy for whatever they enjoy, especially if we haven't even seen the movies. I surprisingly have seen, I think, Almighty. I'm with you on this one. I have seen, by choice or not, like maybe 7 of the movies. So, yeah, rinse and repeat. Maybe a little bit of lather too, as Dream said.
yeah. But like I said, I enjoyed the ride. I mean, I don't. I mean,
Pardon the
I
pun.
think I didn't go out of my way to watch it, but I'll sit there and stare at and watch it. But it's not that.
I'll
I mean,
sit there and
if you watch
stare.
if you watch the other movies during like Cannonball Run and shit, I mean,
Cannonball Run had comedy.
Yeah.
well, that's true. That's true.
That was a completely different type of movie.
I listen to you. You're right, but still, it still had to do with racing and all that stuff. But yeah, Cannonball Run was a good one.
It's
Man.
unfortunate that a lot of people in today's day and age, and I mean the Hollywood mindset, the movie that may have really set it for car movies, it not necessarily Cannonball Run, had to have been Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, for modern day car movies, Gone in 60 Seconds was
Oh my
kind of
goodness.
the setup for it all.
When you look back, I mean, is this a drama? Is this, I mean, come on, it's Gone in 60 Seconds. But believe it or not, it was well done. In my humble opinion, when you look at what it earned its money back. It did fairly well. And when you think of the concept of Gone in 60 Seconds, many of the movies repeat, and they probably just cannot get to that.
It's a summary of Scorekeeper's sex life.
What do you mean? There is no summary right now. That's a nice slam, but you gave me way too much credit. Although I didn't want to announce it, I made a joke of it. I took a picture of the seat next to me because Terry Zahn said he wished he were there with me at the baseball game. And I took a picture and I said, the seats next to us are empty. Well, they showed up at 5 o'clock. I am waiting to see if she does call me. Her name is Michelle.
Oh.
She asked for my number.
Wow.
And I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. And we'll see. I was on a high. That's why I was up so late, man. I was on a high.
That's funny.
It is damn funny. But again,
good luck, right. Sir. Good luck, sir.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You never know.
It was a tax-related issue.
Oh, God. So you'll be getting your call next year.
No, actually, I think it's probably going to be sometime this weekend. But I happen to be discussing a topic, and oh, you do that? I was like, yeah. So we'll see.
So
That's like
NBA playoffs.
that's like all of us here. It's like, oh, you do that for work? Yes, that's what I do for work.
Yeah. Just very quickly, because we're not going to spend too much time on them. In the NHL, congratulations. I believe they were the 8th seed. I'm not certain. Tampa Bay Lightning took it to the Montreal Canadiens. Congratulations. I believe they took it 4-1. I was going to say 5-1, but that was a bit stupid. It was 4-1. Go ahead, Almighty.
About what?
Oh, it looked like you wanted to say something.
Well, isn't that back to back for them?
Yes,
Back to
it
back
is.
titles. So
Yes.
that's. I just think it's quite difficult to get back to back in hockey with the long season and all the pounding that the players take. But I could be wrong about that. But I know that Gretzky won 1,000, but you know.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers
They won what 4, didn't they?
Yeah.
In the 70s
I believe
and
it was 4.
80s, and even bled into a little bit into the 90s. But when Wayne Gretzky left, the Edmonton Oilers did not fare well for a while. But the point is, the Edmonton Oilers in the 80s were a monster team.
Yeah,
it was unreal.
Yeah, after I said that, I realized I said, wait a minute, that's right. The Oilers, look, like Gretzky, he was just winning every year with the Oilers. And that
yeah, it was the Edmonton spoilers back then. They just spoiled everybody's dreams.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We did have a loss in the NHL world. I'm sorry, Big Dog, you want to do it?
That's what I was going to talk about, but go ahead.
Would you? No, please. If you're ready to go on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a shocking loss in the NHL world. Big Dog, please.
Yeah, Matisse Kivleniks, who was a 24-year-old goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets, died on the 4th of July weekend. In fact, I believe it was 4th of July. At first, they thought there were some fireworks that had gone awry going off in at the house, and that everybody was jumping out of the sauna, and that he tripped and hit his head. But no, it later came out that one of the fireworks did in fact hit him in the chest. He was hit in the chest by errant fireworks mortar blast at the Michigan home that belonged to Manny Lagasse, who is the goalie's coach for said Blue Jackets. So they're calling it an accident right now. They're still investigating it, but yeah, he was just 24 years young. I believe they said he had started. Let me see if I can find this. Well, first Lagasse, who was 48, worked with the Blue Jackets since 2018. He had an 11-year NHL career, including a Stanley Cup title with the Red Wings in 2002. They said it was a 9-shot fireworks being used, was legal in Michigan, and the person operating it at the time the goalie was struck was in compliance with state laws, and allegedly had been training with the homeowner for the summer, and was staying at that home, I guess, to get this fireworks going. So condolences to him. I mean, young kid on just freak accident. Yeah.
I was going to ask you what state it was in, because this is Ohio's first year of being legal to shoot off fireworks in the state.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Detroit.
But
I'm not sure.
I don't know about. I don't pay attention in Michigan, but anyway, it is a bad accident. I mean, no matter how careful you are, there's still something can go awry.
Yeah, you're blowing shit up. Stuff can happen. It doesn't matter how many safety precautions you take. Like it's still a dangerous thing, and everybody has to be careful. That's why, like, I know in California, like you're not supposed to send anything up in the air. You're not supposed to do like so many different things. they encourage you to go to fireworks shows where you're a safe distance away from the actual explosions and fireworks, and you can still see the pretty sights. But it's nuts. Like we had a scared. I think it was not last year, maybe last year, the year before, because we were doing fireworks at home, and we were. My daughter wanted to light some Aubrey, the youngest, and she was 9, 10 at the time, something like that. And she went out and lit a firework, and Danielle wanted to get a picture of her like standing in front of the fireworks. I'm like, no, get your butt back over here. Like, you don't do that. You don't stand right next to a firework that's about to go off and try to get a cool picture. And ran her over, and she came out just in time, because apparently it wasn't the type of firework that we thought it was going to be. And stuff started shooting up pretty high.
One of those.
Not like 30, 40 feet in the air, but like 10, 12 feet,
Yeah.
versus like a little 1-footer, and it was like, get out of there. It's like, don't do that. I'm lighting all the fireworks from now on. Like, I don't care. Like, I can back away in time. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's like, there's so much more legal fireworks in Louisiana than California ever has. Because, for example, Louisiana is all swamp, so they're not concerned about, lighting wildfires and stuff like that. So a lot of the bigger fireworks are legal, but still, at the end of the day, it's still a combustible thing that you're lighting for an explosion. There's gunpowder or whatever you want to call it in there.
There's not many things illegal in Louisiana anyway. I mean, you can fire off rocket launchers if you want to.
That's true.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But
one thing,
real quick, back to the movie thing. If you're gonna go see Black Widow or Fast 9, go see it at AMC theaters. AMC is amazing, and it's going to the moon.
Oh, okay, very good.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I apologize,
One
Dream.
thing I did.
Right now, both Gmo and I, we didn't
went
go.
to Regal.
Yep, we didn't go AMC, and we went to Regal, and we didn't go for the monthly one. We went for the yearly. We had the option of going monthly with the 1-year commitment, which I don't get, but it's still a 1-year commitment. But knowing what we were going to get out of it, we went ahead and we just upped up for the entire year up front.
Well,
It wasn't too bad, and that's why I may go see another movie today, maybe even Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hey, they went to Regal so they could get the free popcorn. I got the email about that too.
AMC's giving the free
yeah.
popcorn. AMC's giving free popcorn to shareholders. So since
Are
I
you
am
on vacation?
I can go collect. My free popcorn whenever I go.
That's your dividend.
Are you on vacation, Scorekeeper?
No.
No.
Just one last thing I wanted to add on the story about the goaltender. Kind of even makes it even worse. It said the goaltender and another teammate, they traveled. It was Novi, Michigan. It's where Lagasse lives, to celebrate the 4th as well as the wedding of Lagasse's daughter over the holiday weekend. So not only was this supposed to be an enjoyment of fireworks, but also, I guess, the ending to the wedding of his daughter.
I'm not going to be crass.
Yes, you are.
Come on.
Yes, all right. Yes, I am. Well, at least the wedding went off with a bang.
Well, as a matter of fact, you just beat us to it. But okay, there it is.
Well, there might not have been any move for a bang later on.
You see, that was elder statesman talk right there. Really good. Yeah. You even got the chuckles from Big Dog and I on that one. We're just like, all right. Not too bad. But was there anything else you wanted on that one, Big Dog? Because the reality is, it's just a shame. It's
It is.
24 years young. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to report since you had mentioned NHL, that was the only reason why.
Yeah. And congratulations, Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. Uh, Big deal. Way to go. And congratulations to them. So, and they did it convincingly. Montreal had some issues, but they should have been able to pull it out. Now, here's the funny thing. The reason why you guys lost me for about a second or two is because I saw the feed that General Dalton, thank you, sir, gave us love. And I did not, it shows up on my feed, but it doesn't show up on my screen right here. So I refreshed to see if it was a bit behind, and it is not. So as I mentioned, folks, elegant proof. I know that we're getting likes and loves and ha-has and all this, but they don't all show up right here due to the privacy protocols, etc. But he said, Sports Talk with the Guys, I got the like under the love, and it doesn't show up here. So
So
maybe
what you're saying
Facebook
is,
ripping us off.
so what it also could be is that you owe me a gift card for something.
I already handled the one for Almighty, so that one.
Well, yeah, but how many shows has this happened now? You know, I could have been a winner, and you didn't pay up.
Dream. You are a winner.
We don't
You've always been
we
a
don't
winner.
do shows here, Dream. That's why you haven't won yet, because you're still calling it a show. As you know, it is an episode.
It is an episode, or as I refer to them as, thank you for listening to the program. I've always said.
I call it a show.
I know you do.
In baseball is the big show, and in wrestling there's the big show, and we are the medium-sized show.
Yep, medium time.
Well,
I mean, I'm 2X, but you know,
You're 2X.
that's neither here nor there.
I hit 232.2, so I was about to break the 231, but based on yesterday, I think I'm back to 250. So damn. I did experiment. I did not with any illicit substances, but I did.
Sure.
I did actually have a full breakfast at about 12:30 this morning, and that was the heaviest meal I had all day. So, yeah, it was all right. I'm getting tired of those lemonade drinks, though. I'm really getting tired of them.
I will say
Well, that one-
The
the
day's only 7 hours in, so
I hit up Burger King last night, and I usually can't stand Burger King around Louisiana because they always mess up your order. But I had to change my mindset because, in essence, like, I'm paying for my order, but what I'm really paying for is a grab bag. You don't really know what you're gonna get, so it's always it's always a surprise. So if you look at it like that, you know, hey, you know, you could be a winner.
that bad, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? It's funny you bring that up because, hey, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and the rest of you, when I order my food, I was at Burger King last night too in my area here. You need to start putting straws in the bag when I order my food, please.
No, Matt,
And-
this is California. Go ahead, Almighty.
I was going to say, and you can no longer say it's a minimum wage job because they're all making quite a bit of money. Not a lot of money, but they're making more minimum wage now because of this so-called worker shortage. So, at least around here they are.
Let's leave that topic alone. I think.
Well, I'm just saying, at least around, you know, they're, I mean, they are getting close to 15. I mean, they are getting up there for these jobs. I mean, we don't have to raise it because it's getting close already. So,
Yes, which
well,
is a
I'm-
living wage.
Yeah.
Barely.
$15 is a living wage.
Barely.
Maybe in many parts of the United States, really, realistically, it is very possible. Middle America, this is not a shot against Middle America either. It's just the economy of scale. Things are
Right.
blown out of proportion. And let me give an example, folks. We're going to go political for a moment, but I just need you to understand the basics of this. That in St. Louis, Columbus, Middle American cities, the demand for certain industries is not as high there. Whereas you go to San Jose, Newark, even Atlanta, where the demand is exponential, even Los Angeles and New York. I'm not trying to be pedantic here. I'm just trying to be simple. It's the demand for jobs are greater there. The opportunity for jobs are greater there. So it's that elastic that's fighting. So everything shoots up. So that's
Now,
why housing in Los Angeles and San Jose and the Bay Area are just ridiculous. But I know people in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm dying, man. I am dying. They're talking about 3-bedroom, 2 baths rentals for $750 a month, and
Yeah.
these are fairly new homes.
right.
Yep.
But think
That's
about
right.
this.
Yep.
The cost of living
Well,
when
yeah.
distributed across the United States has risen exponentially over the last 20 years. The cost of housing, food, gas, everything, utilities, everything has skyrocketed over the last 20 years from where it was. Minimum wage has remained stagnant for many years.
Hey, it's gone up a nickel here and there.
CEO salaries are 25 times what they were making in that same time period. There is a point where the little guy has to get his fair share. It costs more to live and exist. There's only the cost of education, the cost of college has risen exponentially. How are people supposed to better their lives and, get to the next point if they're not getting a living wage? Now, I think the main point that everybody tries to make is like, well, I do this for a living and I only get this. Why should they be making this? Instead of asking why are they making this, you should be asking yourself, why am I not being paid for my work that I'm putting in adequately? Yes, maybe McDonald's is a $15 an hour job. So maybe your $20 an hour job should really be a $40 an hour job. It's a fight across the board that needs to be taken instead of just a one-off and pitting us against each other. The only people really making money are the elites. All the corporation, all the CEOs, all the owners are making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
All the one percenters.
All the one percenters are getting richer.
All the one percenters.
Even during the pandemic.
Well, you said a very crucial statement or statement right now. But how are we supposed to get ahead if we don't get paid correctly or as we should get paid? And add that to the one percenters' way of thinking, and that may be your answer there.
Yeah, they don't want us to get ahead.
This is a sports show, so we'll. Oh, I know, but no. This is a very good subject for another day. I think on another program.
This is a Monday Night in America thing. I get it. We just have a bigger audience here.
Really?
I would think. I don't know. I don't go to Monday Night in America because I'm working.
And fair enough. And fair enough. But you are at the Nightmare Hunter on the other Monday. But that's okay.
Sometimes.
All the time.
No, not all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grandfathered programs, unfortunately, have a 5-to-1. It's a 5-to-1 ratio. The NDB media channels, I got to tell you, are running at over 500,000. Where I guess it's a 5-to-2 ratio. Whereas the NDB Media 2 channels are running at just short of 186,000. So, just to give you an idea, the ratio is 5-to-2.
So I'm full of shit. All right.
No, not at all. Not at all. The NDB Media Sports Talk with the Guys on NDB Media 2 is the monster of the channel. And there's only one channel. Or one show on that channel. So, Sports Talk with the Guys has a significant audience. But when you look at the legacy programs, some of the other ones on the primary channel are a tad larger. So
I have a question for you. How many of you have ever worked in a kitchen?
I've worked
Just
around.
Just you? All right. Well, I'll tell you. What do you call a group of cooks?
I don't know what.
a cadre of chefs.
No. A herd?
A herd.
You don't get it. All right.
Great Iron Girl said she's worked in a kitchen.
Oh, nice. All right. So a herd. Because anytime you're walking... All right. So now I have to explain the damn joke, which is not fun. So in a kitchen, you have to call out if you're walking behind somebody or if you have a sharp object or whatever. You'll say like behind or coming through or hot pot or whatever. So the common response across the country is heard. Like, I heard what you said, and then you repeat what they said. So like sharp behind, heard, sharp behind. So you call them a herd.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Dream actually you're cool on that one because I actually get that. We lost Big Dog. Anyway,
didn't like it. All right.
Well, what a shock! What a shock! But that's okay. Dream, I get that, and I agree. It was a lesser extent to the two kitchens that I've worked in, but at Carl's Jr. Forgive me, I know some people don't like Carl's Jr. But yes, you're right. Usually, everyone has their position and station, and yeah, if they've got a knife or something, that's why a lot of people don't get the joke when I'm referring to you never give a senior clerk a sharp object, because we are so stupid with sharp objects that we hurt ourselves and we hurt everyone because we're just stupid. And they say don't put a clerk in an office because we'll kill in a kitchen because we'll kill everyone because we're stupid.
Back in college, we had a professor that always made mistakes and was always effing up what he was trying to write down and just like drawing lines through everything and writing over and over. So one of the smartasses in our class gave him a pencil that looked like a wishbone, and on the top part of the wishbone, you know how it has the two prongs? It had two erasers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He said, "This way you don't run out for every time you screw up."
It's rather amusing. That's pretty good.
But it's true what he said because, I mean, the housing market is crazy in the bigger cities. Like my sister up in Roseville, she posted a picture on Facebook that the house is for sale next door to where they live. It's a nice view, but they want like almost $5,000. I'm like, what did California come to?
You talking about a month?
If you look,
I guess that's what she posted on Facebook. I was like, that's a nice house. I could live there, but not for that price.
I mean, you can move into a small town with maybe one grocery store and buy a house for a couple $100,000. But if you take that same house, 2-3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and move it to California, you're talking a $3.4 million house. So it just kind of depends where you're living as well, and I get that. But there has to be an average out somewhere because people are moving out of these small towns and going to the big cities where they can find jobs.
Yep, that's what it is. But yeah, and then
now
we can get back to sports. Did you guys know about the 49er player that just passed away?
I heard
that
about
is
it.
another loss. Go ahead, Matt. Please advise us on that one.
Former 49er tight end Greg Clark has died from CTE. They tried saving him and tried helping him, but
so
I remember when he was drafted in the 1997 draft.
Matthew, CTE, what happened? Was he hurt on the field? Or what are the details that we know?
All the 49ers are saying that he passed away from CTE, and they're looking into it and how this happened.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Because
So
for those of you that
scorekeeper.
know, excuse me a moment, Dream. For those of you that know, CTE is the, I don't want to call it the hot button issue in the NFL, but CTE represents chronic traumatic encephalopathy. And it's chronic because of the numerous hits that the players have to endure. And it's something that they really cannot tell as of right now. The imaging is getting better, but they're really still not able to see it until, unfortunately, the person passes away and they go in there and open up the brain, basically.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of players suffering from that at this time. I mean, they have all the symptoms,
Yes, it seems to be.
and for decades, the NFL has denied any knowledge of knowing about it. I mean, they've been fighting. Well, they fight about this all the time. And anyway, it's a hot button issue, and
Yeah.
and that's why they have all this concussion protocol now. They take them in the tent and examine them and all that kind of stuff. But the NFL's always denied that there was anything to do with football. They don't want to pay out the lawsuit
Yeah.
as usual.
Well, the same thing took off in wrestling. They were like, well, there's no issue with this. We take the precautions with having our wrestlers, hit each other with a steel chair. But then you look at the Chris Benoit issue and what they found with his CTE scan after he passed. And that was given to them. The family gave Christopher Nowinski, who's also a former wrestler, permission to do that because he's the one that started that foundation with his group, and he's the one that found the cause of it. And then they were like, well, okay, yeah, it's an issue. We're not going to do it that much anymore. So they also had to acknowledge it, along with the NFL and everybody else now, that it's real.
So can I say what I was going to say?
I'm sorry, Dream.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Scorekeeper, can you elaborate on what this injury is for those of them who don't know?
You're talking about the CTE?
Yeah.
The chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
No, I was going to say that. You just said that. That's all I was going to say. And then you cut me off to say exactly what I was going to say.
Okay, I'm missing it. I'm sorry.
I was trying to set you up so that you could explain everything, and then you just cut me off to explain everything.
What a shock. Yeah. I'm so damn
Yeah.
old that I cut people off in traffic. I cut people off at work. I cut people off on this program. I'm
Just
trying to
like,
acknowledge it more and more. Go ahead, Dream. I'm sorry.
Said just like Big Dog when he was trying to say something, you just cut him off to keep going.
Like how many times an episode?
I'm used to it. I'm used to it. So, what I was about to say is, as you guys were all talking, I hit about maybe 4 different reports because this just happened today. It's anywhere from less than an hour to about 4 hours to 6 hours old on this report, and it just says that he died of unknown causes at the moment, but that he was, according to his family, was suffering from CTE-like symptoms. So it's not confirmed that he had it, and you cannot say he died from it. As Scorekeeper said, you can't find out till after they do the autopsy and they autopsy the brain and take the
You froze, Big Dog.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Am I back?
you're back now. Yeah, you're back now. You were talking about
Okay.
you can't take the brain, and that's where you froze.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying you can't tell CTE if the person had it or not until the person passes away. You take the brain out and you cut up the brain. You look inside the brain for in a specific area that you need to look for it. So we won't know if he died from CTE, whatever the reason why his body stopped working for whatever reason. We won't find out for at least a couple of months. So as of right now, it's unknown circumstances, and that As I said, the family said he was suffering from CTE-like symptoms. So that's about as close as we're going to get probably for now.
Yep. And then in other news, the Oakland A's, they say that they want to leave, too, but then they also want to stay in Oakland. But the city of Oakland last night said, no, we think that your facility will better serve as low-income housing.
Wow.
But they want a vote in the next 2 weeks between both sides.
Whoa, Oakland. Okay, Speedy, if this is true, okay, we're going to go back and talk about what we were talking about a few weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen,
Right.
The Oakland City Council has notoriously not made a damn decision on this. We're talking about ungodly sums of money here. There is a and again, forgive me, I'm going by memory right now. There is a mixed use development plan on the waterfront for Oakland on the table right now. Where's the damn vote?
Yep.
Oakland City Council, toma, make a decision. For them to say that, we're going to vote on this. Yeah, you've been talking about that for 6 years already. Nice try, Oakland. Here, let me zip the zipper of that one.
And if they're in fact saying that
I forgot.
that area is going to be better used as low-income housing, they're pretty much saying, "See you guys. It's been nice. It's been nice all these decades, but we're not even going to offer you a new stadium. So have fun in Seattle or Vegas or wherever you guys want to go."
Okay, Scorekeeper, I just put it in private chat. I put the link there.
Yeah. There is. Oakland City Council discusses A's Howard terminal proposal as vote deadline approaches. Why are we even talking about this, folks? It's a $12 billion development, ladies and gentlemen. It is immense. But this thing has changed so many times. And thank you, Matt. The A's presentation argued the $12 billion development will keep the team in Oakland and would be a catalyst for future infrastructure. A major sticking point for council members, what a shock, it's the A's desire to forego traditional guidelines when it comes to making affordable housing part of the plan. Well, look, folks, California law trumps, everyone when it comes to this. You have to have affordable housing if there's taxes involved. Deal with it. Grow up. Don't care what you have to say. It's the law. Oh, wait a minute. Can we get around that, Scorekeeper? Yes. You got to get the law changed. When did that happen?
Scorekeeper.
Gee, Staples Center. Yes, Big Dog. I'm sorry. I didn't see you on screen. What's going on?
Well, they say the vote's coming up, and they've been doing this for a while. Can't the city council just say, "Oh, we're going the vote is supposed to be July 30th. We are now extending it to September 1st."
Yes, they can. They've been.
Yes. So the article saying, "Oh, they have to make a decision quickly," isn't really somewhat true.
Well, Big Dog, we are running out of time because the deal is actually in place because a $12 billion deal. It's not a pipe dream. You've got to line up the builders. You've got to line up the money people. There's a deadline. And
no, I understand all that, but it seems to me that Oakland, as we've talked about it before, doesn't want to do this. Doesn't want to spend the money. They want, if I remember that article correctly, they want the A's to put up something like 80 or 90% of the money, and they only want to do as the minimum amount possible for them to put out for the city of Oakland. And Oakland's just the A's just aren't having it. And I don't blame them. If anything, it should maybe be a 50-50 shot. But for what they're saying, is if they've already said, the city council has already said, well, we feel that area where the stadium and all the parking is would better be for the city of Oakland as low-income housing, they're pretty much telling you, okay, well, we really don't want you guys here anymore. We're going to tear all this down and put low-income housing. So as the Oakland A's owners, whether it's a family run or it's a conglomerate or whatever it is that owns them, whoever owns them, I would start looking. I would already be, calling Vegas and calling Tupelo, Mississippi, or wherever.
And baseball's already given them permission to start looking, so
Wherever.
there's nothing holding Oakland out, or Tampa Bay for that matter. So they already have the permission, so they can start looking if that's the case, Big Dog.
Well, see, that's the other thing is that I know I wasn't with you guys last week, but last Friday they told the city, what about this other property on the other side of Oakland that we talked about 8 years ago? And the city council went, no, we do not think about that. We are not going to do that. You're either in or out, and you have 2 weeks to decide this. And that's when they came back to it last night. Again, you have 2 weeks to decide this. Big Dog, to your point, I'm sure that scorekeeper is correct. I don't think they have to make a decision in the next 2 weeks to the city, like, right away. I'm sure they can push this to, September, October to talk about it again.
That's true, but at the same time, Oakland can only wait so long. If their contract is up in 2024 or whenever it's supposed to be, I'm pretty sure they want a seamless segue from the old stadium to the new stadium, or to their new destination, excuse me. So as Almighty said, they already have permission from Major League Baseball to go looking elsewhere. So I would be on that phone. If I was the owner or whoever's in charge of getting a new spot, I would be on that phone calling all these other prospective cities and say, hey, what have you got for us? And as we know, we talked about it earlier, there was that proposition or proposed move of the Angels before they, of course, locked down their new contract right there in downtown Long Beach, where they were going to build a stadium there. So that's also an option. Although I don't think we can sustain a third baseball team here, but
sure,
it's still an option.
Send them to Vegas.
Yeah.
Send them to Vegas with the Raiders. That's all. That's what they're going to do.
Probably.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned Las Vegas for that, as far as being able. We'll have to see. But, folks, I do want to add two things to the Oakland Athletic thing, and I hope it's not getting lost in the conversation here. Oakland is the one at fault.
Yeah,
they've been putting this one forever, and all of a sudden, we gotta have a deadline. Okay, vote.
No, but their deadlines are crap because they did the very same thing when John Gruden was the coach for the Raiders, and they told Al Davis, we'll do it in the next few months. The next few months roll by, and the Raiders don't get a call. There's no meeting, and the Oakland City was like, where were you guys? We were here for the meeting. Well, you didn't call us and tell us about this meeting. So even back when John Gruden was the coach, and all these other guys that came through as coaches, they've just been dragging the Raiders on, and finally that's why Mark Davis was like, you know what, we're going to Vegas. We can't wait for you guys, and you're not telling us anything. And I think it's the same thing with the A's. They're just dragging the A's along and pulling them on some crazy ride. But it doesn't bother me.
That was very well said, Speedy. You said it was full of crap. And you know what? It's time for both sides to either shit or get off the pot.
And all my other friends are doing this. Me, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not an A's fan, so if they leave, whatever.
You're one of the hated ones.
They're already low income anyway.
Well, no, they're crying because they're A's fans. They're not crying because they think they're going to leave. They're crying because they're A's fans.
Yes, already.
Yeah.
Now, another go ahead, Almighty.
Well, you go ahead. I was just going to say I'm not sure how baseball would react to a team being in Vegas, a gambling place.
Same way the Raiders.
No, baseball's a little more.
Oh, baseball is very
No,
super
you
when
know,
it comes to gambling. Yes, it is.
even though it's been 100 years, they that Black
Yes,
Sox is still on their mind.
Pete Rose.
Yep,
And
Pete Rose would love it.
I don't see. It would shock me if they did go to Vegas, and if I would. I mean, that's just me
All right,
because
I'll be
baseball is a
back, guys.
different
It's gonna be
animal.
loud.
Okay,
Okay, Dream.
but question for me for all everyone or whoever wants to chime in. Now, I understand what you're saying that baseball is very leery about putting a team in Vegas because of the gambling aspect of it. They gamble on baseball now. So what difference is the team if the team is actually in Vegas? What difference does that make? The gambling amount, I think, is going to stay the same. In fact, it's going to bring in more tourism, definitely. But I don't know if the gambling aspect of baseball will go up. But the fact is, there is gambling in baseball as far as
Well,
the
yeah,
legal
but
gambling
we're
in the books
talking
and stuff.
about but we're talking
Go
about
ahead.
the
Well,
baseball team being in the gambling capital of the world,
yes.
and we're talking about they're afraid people having access to the players like they did back in 1919. Or whatever
Then
it was.
then then they should do
I'm
what they did.
look. I know what you're
They
saying, big dog, but I'm just saying baseball would still be leery about it.
As a matter of fact, they are
I
Larry. It's up in the conversations today.
I understand that,
They,
but then they should take the model once again from the NBA, from when the Maloof brothers owned the Sacramento Kings and had their casino in Vegas, where you could bet on every single team, but you couldn't bet on the Kings. So
So
they
what
could
are
do the
you
same
saying?
thing there.
They can't vote on the Vegas A's in Las Vegas?
If they were playing in Vegas, you wouldn't bet you wouldn't be able to put a bet on them. This way, you have no
folks.
inside. There would be no
Yeah.
inside
Uh,
stuff
but
Okay.
we're not.
because
But
they.
we're talking. I I know what you're saying, Big Dog,
Mhm.
and
No, I understand.
it makes sense, and what you're saying makes sense. But baseball is even though there's gambling and so it's legal nowadays, and almost every state has a casino somewhere, either on a river or somewhere. That baseball just doesn't want to be that associated with it because of what happened 100 years ago. I mean, and
And
with Pete Rose and whoever else they're going to find.
the Mickey Mantle and others, folks, they're a bit. It's not us. It's just being in the baseball world. There is such an aversion to this that it's one of those things that are up there. It just we don't see it happening. But we're not naive, folks. We've talked about this. Baseball has already given its not necessarily its permission, but it's something related to DraftKings. It's not necessarily approved by baseball, but it's acknowledged by baseball. You're able to gamble already as it is. But baseball still has it in its rules. You can't be okay. Then let me give you one of the example. In the 1970s, Mickey Mantle retired, having nothing to do with baseball, accepted a position with the casino, basically as
Yeah,
a Walmart greeter.
yeah. I think it was Atlantic City, wasn't it?
I don't remember which one. It was a casino. He was banned from baseball.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember.
this is how, and I don't want to use the word psychiatric, but this is the thinking of baseball. It's
I was gonna say archaic, but go ahead. Archaic thinking. It's
okay.
archaic thinking.
Well, maybe
Come
not
into
in
the
the
21st
'70s.
century, people.
I mean, maybe
Come into the
today, but in
21st.
the '70s, not because it's still,
I
you know,
big dog. I don't know what that means. Coming to the 20th century, baseball
21st
has
century.
no 21st century. I really don't know what that means when you're talking about wanting to stay away from gambling. It's what baseball does. It's been in its thinking forever. There have been so many instances of players involved in gambling. It's just it does no good, and they just absolutely anything related to gambling. It's a no. It's a rule. I really don't know what you mean. What you're going to allow who to bet? The players? management?
No,
They can't.
no. The regular gamblers, you,
You can do
me,
that now.
Almighty. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can do that now. And you're saying as Almighty said, one of the thinking is if they move to Vegas, some of the professional gamblers or whoever might get inside information so that you can decide better, on your gambling bet. That's what I'm saying. So then you put, if let's say the Dodgers and the A's, the Las Vegas A's and the Dodgers are playing, you can't bet on that game in Vegas, period. Because this way you have no insider information. Or even if you do, you can't place a bet to do it. It's an easy swing. Because as of right now, you and I and Almighty and Speedy can all go to any casino and put $100 down on the A's, put $100 down on the Dodgers. So if they're afraid of getting, insider information so that they can get a more advantageous bet, you just ban that particular game in Vegas from betting.
Uh,
Well,
Period.
they're also
You can bet on
afraid
the
of
other
them.
28 teams.
okay. Almighty, I want to just add to the
Go ahead.
thinking.
I'm
It's going to
sorry.
be difficult on this. No, not at all. It's baseball wants nothing to do with gambling. That's it. It's there's really no other way I could say it. They want nothing
Then why
to do
don't
with
they
gambling.
so then why don't they ban gambling in all the casinos, telling them as Major League Baseball, we're not authorizing you to accept to gamble.
They can't say that.
No,
Las Vegas can do whatever they want.
No,
New
you
York
can't,
City. They have nothing to do with it. Folks, the rules of Major League Baseball are very simple when it comes to gambling. No player. No, yeah, thank you. It's no. And this refers to the players, management, staff, and that's it. No association with any gambling whatsoever. That's it. It's just simple. So to go to Vegas, it's like, oh, wait a minute. No gambling, but yet you'll go to Vegas. It's a thought process that I said it's way out there. It's just baseball has a simple thing. No. So for them to go against Vegas, it's like, well, wait a minute. You say no, but you're in the gambling capital. It's an intrinsic, not necessarily intrinsic point of view, but it is. It looks bad, for lack of a better word. But baseball has no control over gambling right now. They out Las Vegas, Major League. We can't bet on baseball. No, they do whatever they want. The answer is no. People cannot, if they're associated with baseball, cannot gamble. Whether it's for a team, whatever, they can do whatever they want on their own, but in the capacity of owner, management, or whatever, they cannot have any association loose or anything. So in some of the conversations, but I have a casino card at San Manuel. Yeah, okay. You can do whatever you want on your own time, but you cannot have any official connection, capacity, whatever. And that's the way baseball is. They're draconian, and they don't want to have any association with any gambling. So to have a team in Las Vegas, it could happen, but to baseball's thinking, there's no connection whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's
I
old.
was going to say, with all that being said, next year we'll be going, well, the A's are going to Vegas.
Oh, my God, yes. I think on July 20th, when they do the vote, Oakland's like, deal's done! We're going to Vegas!
Yep.
So, it's just unbelievable.
So then we'll have to be eating our hats.
Oh, good God, yes. Because baseball can be so draconian on some things, and then the next day, oh, we're good with it.
Yeah. So.
It's crazy.
But still, but going by the past, baseball's past, baseball was almost ruined with the Black Sox scandal. So
yeah.
It took them years to recover from that. Well, it wasn't for the Yankees and Babe Ruth. It probably would have faltered a little bit, but they were able to bring it back a little bit because they became the powerhouse and everybody loved Babe Ruth and eating hot dogs and womanizing.
Yeah. Was it McLean in the 1960s? Danny McLean was also nailed for something like that, and it looked bad on baseball. And it's like, forgive me, folks. I know I'm going to get the hate mail on it, but with baseball and gambling, it's almost schizo. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it.
And
It's crazy.
but all you gotta do is say Pete Rose, and he's still out. I mean, he's not. If he's ever going to be allowed in the Hall of Fame, it's going to be after he's dead. Yeah, but he should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, but he got busted and he's banned, and that's all there is to it.
And then he came close to coming back, and then they found out he was having a relationship with a 15-year-old. So then that pretty much put the final nail in the coffin.
Oh, one thing after another for this guy.
Yep.
But
Pete Rose, the all-time hit leader. I guess he just kept banging them out, but whatever.
A little too young. Banging out the young ones. But anyway.
Yeah. Not so
but even if he doesn't make the big Hall of Fame, at least he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, Tom.
That
is a joke Hall of Fame. I don't know why you keep bringing up the WWE Hall of Fame. It's a joke. Now, if he's in the Cauliflower Hall of Fame, then I'll give some credence to it. That's a Hall of Fame to be in.
Well, Big Dog, I think that's a little derisive on your part. The cauliflower.
That's what it's called. It's called the
Cauliflower
Hall of Fame. It's that is the wrestling across the board, because of course Vince McMahon only recognizes his wrestlers to be in his Hall of Fame. Cauliflower just recognizes you as a legend, and if you get into the Cauliflower Hall of Fame, that is an honor. And of course, cauliflower, going back to the way your ear turns because of being in a headlock for so many years. That's why the college players wear those earmuff things when they wrestle, because otherwise they get the cauliflower ear.
I think we just lost the respect.
And then someone hits it and it explodes. Very nasty looking.
Yeah, well, like I said, folks, I think we just lost the respect of Vince McMahon. So it was rather derisive.
Boo!
Yeah, the WWE, we just slammed the Hall of Fame. But folks, there is still quite a bit more that we want to get to. I know that Big Dog and I did spend a little bit of it. I don't know if our illustrious co-hosts, Matthew or Speedy, in the last 20-some minutes that we have you. Big Dog, Rachel Nichols. It happened this week. Basically, you saw the post on Sports Talk with the Guys almost right after it happened. And a little bit has been going on. I don't know if anything happened yesterday because I was out of the world of sports. But basically this. Rachel Nichols was in conference with an individual. And unfortunately...
Last year, by the way.
As a lot of people don't know, when you're on conference calls, the calls are recorded. And they're recorded not for nefarious purposes. They're recorded because you don't have people taking notes anymore. And oftentimes the computer programs themselves can take the notes. So there's a record of these things. And when people find them, and when they think they find something juicy, they tend to let it get out. Someone figured out there was a conversation between two individuals, and they're trying to railroad the individual, Rachel Nichols. Big Dog and I spent a little bit of time conversing about this yesterday. Since it's a basketball item that I stole from you there, Big Dog,
go ahead.
Where I would like your comments. I know that we spoke about this. What is your thinking now that you've looked into it a little bit?
Well, I mean,
Adam Silver's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. I mean, you've kind of skirted around what happened, but let them know what happened. People don't know what you're talking about. They just know Rachel Nichols had a conversation. Elaborate, please.
Well, I skirted around it. As Big Dog said, it was a year ago, and Rachel Nichols was talking to an individual who was an advisor to someone, which I do not recall right now.
LeBron.
LeBron's what advisor? Do you recall?
Political and social advisor.
Well, no. I at first when I heard that, I was like, really? But then I forgot LeBron James does have a corporation, and he does have an image, so I could see that. Almighty?
Well, I'd like to know, too, because I've been trying to find what she said, it seems like no one wants to tell you. It's like it's been censored, like whatever she said. So I've been trying to figure out what she
I'll
said.
pull it up.
But
While he's
despite what she said, I still think she's hot.
oh hell yeah.
Not only is she hot, but and now we're being sexist, so we're going to
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah.
But she's very smart, and that's why she has the spot that she has. I mean, she
Oh yeah,
happens to.
not. Yeah, she is. I mean, that's not to take anything away from her as being of her profession, but you know, she was wearing
Now,
that sweater and she looked like she was hot.
fair enough. 2 days ago, as per CBS or MSN reporting on a CBS article, apparently ESPN has benched reporter Rachel Nichols from covering the NBA Finals from the sidelines after recording surfaced of her making disparaging comments about her colleague Maria Taylor. When this news first broke, I did post on the forum that this is yellow journalism. They're going after Rachel Nichols. You need to listen to the recording, and even then, you need to hear the entire conversation to know. It sounds bad, but when you listen to the circumstances, it is what it is. But I did post an article, and here it is. In leaked audio, Nichols, who is
Hot.
white,
Oh.
reportedly criticized ESPN last year for choosing Taylor, who is black, to report on the sidelines of the NBA Finals over her. Now, again, you need to listen to the sound file, but here is the quote. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I know myself personally, like, go for it. Just find it somewhere else, the recording said, according to the New York Times. Nichols apologized on Monday's edition of The Jump as a show she co-hosts on ESPN. Quote, I also didn't want to let this moment pass without saying how deeply sorry I am for disappointing those I hurt, particularly Maria Taylor. Instead of Nichols, reporter Malika Andrews will give sideline reports. The network said Nichols will still host The Jump during the NBA Finals. Taylor, a 7-year veteran of ESPN, is scheduled to host the NBA Countdown for the Finals. The series began between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns begin Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, since the
Reaction.
article. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Taylor has been. She does the pregame show and the halftime show. Malika Andrews is doing the sideline reporting, replacing Rachel Nichols. They did take that from her. In other parts of that you can see, you can Google this up. Scorekeeper had it pretty much right. There was a little she started with beforehand on her quote that was leaked. And there's stuff that I found out afterwards where she says that it's in her contract that this is exactly what she's supposed to be doing, hosting the jump, sideline reporting, so on and so forth. It's written in her contract. So that's one of the things that she was talking about in that quote that Scorekeeper was saying that when she was talking, where she says, where the hell, if you need to give her more things because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long time record on diversity, which, by the way, I know personally from a female side of it, like, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it from me or taking my thing away. So, and in another part of an article, you get the rest of it where she says, it's in my contract. These are the things that were written in my contract for me to do, and I'm not giving them up. So I understand her frustration. She worked damn hard to get to where she's at, to that point. And, I don't think it was Maria Taylor per se. I think it was just someone. I think the answer would have been the same even if it was a guy, or a white female trying to take the spot. As I said, she worked hard for it, and she has it written in her contract. So if something's going to be taken away, I'm pretty sure if you have it in your contract that you're supposed to be sideline reporter and we're paying you X amount of dollars to do so, and they're going to replace you, I'm pretty sure they need to come to you first and maybe work something out because it is in your contract. But she got a lot of flack for it, and the thing is, as Scorekeeper said, this conversation was from July of 2020 when they were in the bubble. So
Yeah, and folks, she didn't say this, and this is so disappointing. Mariah Rose, the daughter of ESPN host and former NBA star Jalen Rose, had this to say, quote, "Instead of crying and calling Maria a diversity token, I'm sorry." Where did she say that? Where? But yet, this is what I'm talking about, that the way the conversation is phrased, they're going after Rachel Nichols when Rachel Nichols did not even say that. She said she actually went after ESPN on its hiring practices. But yet everyone is going after Rachel Nichols for this by saying, Rachel, shut up. How dare you call her a diversity token hire? Nowhere did Rachel Nichols say that. But this is why when I posted on Sports Talk with the Guys, I had already read numerous articles. I saw the reports and I said, this is going to blow up, and it's not there. There's no story here. They said, listen to what she said, understand the context. There's no story. It's blown up because people such as Mariah Rose saying, stop crying. Stop crying? Over what? And she never called Maria a diversity token. Didn't even imply it. Adam Silver on Thursday had to actually, like, folks, you guys got to calm the F down. How can you destroy a person's career over one comment when it really isn't even bad? I know how it sounds, I know how it looks, but you guys aren't paying attention and people are not listening. Rachel Nichols, in my humble and professional opinion, it sounds bad, but in the management meeting, it's like, you realize what it sounds like, right? And Rachel got the message right away. She apologized on Monday. Story's done. But people aren't letting it go because the apron stringers, I believe the keyboard warriors is what Big Dog referred to them as. Folks, there really is no story here. But it's blowing out of proportion now.
One of the reasons why also she's being that the fires are starting to try and be fanned on this story is because, unfortunately, there has been rumors, which have never been substantiated, but there's been rumors over the years that she has done a lot of backroom politicking and some backstabbing in the past to get to her spot that she has now. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but I have read that more than a couple of times. So, and from different sporting outlets. So, right, Roz, have fun at the farm.
Bye, Roz.
So,
take care, Roz.
whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I have read it over the last couple of years, and I don't know if it's just jealousy because she got to her spot. I'm sorry, folks, but if you're going to be the number one person or the top person in your field, in whatever profession that you decide to go into, you're going to unfortunately have to climb over or go through people sometimes to get that top spot. I'm sorry, no matter, especially if you're a sports player, but this is a sports reporting, but still, You can't tell me Stephen A. hasn't climbed over or went through a few people. You can't tell me Skip Bayless hasn't climbed over or went through a few people. So to get to that
Yeah.
spot, unfortunately, if you're hungry enough, you're gonna how you get to the spot because you got to get over these people. You have to show why you're the best person for the job, and unfortunately, sometimes that requires you, as I said, to go over or go through.
Skip Bayless trying to kill people to get to where he's at.
It wouldn't shock me.
Dream, your comments on this? Other
I
than that,
I still don't know what we're talking about.
The Rachel Nichols comments that she made last year that came out just a few days ago, earlier this week,
yeah, it was on the
about
weekend.
about Maria Taylor getting the post game and pre game, or not post game, but pre game and a halftime show, and she was also going to be the sideline reporter, which I guess Rachel Nichols it's in her contract that she's supposed to be the sideline reporter, um, and that she was talking about that she's all happy for Maria Taylor, but if you're going to give her some work, don't take it from me because it's in my contract what I'm supposed to have. And people have taken that as white privilege and so on and so forth.
That in and of itself isn't white privilege. That's contract privilege. If you sign a contract that says, I'm guaranteed X, Y, and Z, you know, don't go after the person that they gave it to. You go after the company. You go after the person that violated the contract. And the
Yep.
person that got the job, okay, good for them, cool for them. But I'm going after the person that voided my contract because now they're going to be paying me a shit ton of money.
A
And
dream. That's pretty much what Rachel was saying in that comment. She was pissed off at
Yeah.
ESPN, and she went after ESPN in the
Yes.
reporting.
Yep.
Yep.
So you're
I
right
mean,
on that one.
I don't know where race got involved.
Rachel's white. It's right there. Rachel's white.
Rachel's white and Maria Taylor is a black reporter.
But did she say anything about race in her comment?
Well, it's
The thing that
inferred.
the only thing you can say is that she's talking about ESPN. Uh, and this is what she said. If you need to give her more things to do because pressure about your crappy long time record of diversity, which by the way, I know personally from a female side of it, then go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not gonna find it taking from me or taking my thing away. End
Okay,
quote.
that she screwed up. She definitely screwed up there. Um, it, by mentioning the diversity and everything else, you're slandering the company. One, two, you're insulting the person that is getting the job, saying that they're not, uh, they don't deserve the job. It's only because it's a racial play. So I think from her perspective, she messed up because she should have just said, "Okay, ESPN, pay me my money. You're voiding my contract. You owe me X, Y, and Z," and left it at that.
Yeah. The thing
She
that
got pissed and
I,
made it racial and fucked up.
I understand where you're coming from, but also to take into context in this was a private conversation between her and LeBron's social media advisor slash political advisor. Evidently, the guy also is a political advisor to some politicians. So she was talking to this gentleman to try, I guess, to try and get some advice on how to approach and go through things. And this was in the conversation that was recorded without her knowing it was being recorded.
Then you sue his motherfucking ass too because that's not legal.
Yeah, look, there's some legal things. Was the guy in California? Where was the recording? Remember, we learned about this in
They were they were they were in
2012.
No, this was 2020. This was
No,
July
no, 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 no.
2020. It was
I said we learned about the recording laws because of the election in 2012,
okay.
and I believe
It was in
Florida,
Orlando.
it's illegal to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Florida, and I'm not sure where he was at because he was not there. He
And
might
we
have been
also
in
learned
telling
about
him.
it with Monica Lewinsky.
And
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
wow. Light them up, baby.
Oh god.
also what we found, also what was found out is the person that leaked it. They know who leaked this audio
Oh,
clip, or the several audio. There were 3 audio clips that were leaked, and they found out who it was. And I can't remember her name. I didn't write it down, but it was a female ESPN worker, a black female worker, and she was suspended for 2 weeks without pay and reprimanded.
wow.
But
Big Dog, we may have lost you again. Yeah, we lost you. Was reprimanded for 2 weeks, and we lost you.
He's still frozen.
Yeah, you're still frozen.
Right.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
going to switch very quickly. Matt, I know we're losing you. Please bring up your story and as soon as we get Big Dog back. So go ahead. Speedy.
Yeah, you know, there's this whole thing with, you know, we talked about AEW a little earlier on, but the fact that on Wednesday, I mean,
now
yeah,
people
on
are
Wednesday night,
complaining. Oh shit!
Go.
Okay, yeah. So what happened this week on AEW when a fan, MJF and Chris Jericho were trying to have a promo with each other, you know, good guy versus bad guy, and then a fan just jumps in the ring and gets his hands on Chris Jericho, and it's simple, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, now that sporting events are back, you can go to most sporting events, vaccinated or not, but you're still going to get your ass banned. And people were like, wait, why does he look like... No, it can't be, can it? Everybody thought this was Bubba the Love Sponge interfering with this promo between MJF and Chris Jericho. I highly doubt it was Bubba the Love Sponge. Because, like me, he loves wrestling a lot. I don't think he would be stupid enough to get himself banned from the arena and kicked out, taken out, dragged out by security guards because of how big he is. I mean, we've seen this in other sports too. We all remember the 2017 baseball fiasco where things got crazy and fans ran on the field and everybody got arrested too. And then they end up getting lifetime bans. So with sports being back, let's bring civilization back, scorekeeper. Let's have these people stop jumping on the field, especially in wrestling, because, you know, the guy is now trying to sue Chris Jericho because he punched him right in the face. Well, you deserved it, you idiot. You don't jump in front of a live wrestling show. I would have decked him too if I was Jericho.
That's horrible, man. Who does that shit? Well, at least on the bright side, you don't have to worry about that person again.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. The fans rushing, folks, it's out of control whenever you have a championship event. It is something where they want to be involved. It's pent up, whatever. Rushing the field in college in huge games is well known. It used to happen in baseball a lot. I think it happened a few times in basketball. But basketball really got some big dudes to just block everyone from getting on the court. Hockey, pretty much the same thing. And in baseball, it doesn't happen as much unless the city is unprepared. But then you have all the people doing all the hoodlumism on the outside.
I miss the early 80s of Morgana. Remember Morgana, the kissing bandit, where Nolan
sure do.
Ryan, I believe it was his second or third to the last year before he retired, that Morgana finally came out and gave him a kiss, and he actually got down on one knee and the whole thing because he said he was so excited that he finally got a kiss from Morgana. But those were the innocent days of when you could run onto the field, and now you get a bunch of crazies that do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
And some are naked.
yeah, yeah, they do. It's like, hey, it's okay. I know, apron stringer. I know you need attention. It's all good. And it's always the ones with the little wee wees that run on the field too.
Just real
Yeah.
quick. I came in, and Speedy was talking about, I guess, the incident in AEW. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Or-
Yep.
and the guy's trying to sue Jericho in AEW or what?
I don't know if he's trying to do AEW or just Chris Jericho in general, but he deserved to get punched in the face if he got a black eye or whatever.
He's got no standing. He came into the ring
Exactly.
and says on the back of your ticket, you're not supposed to interfere. He did, and that's what he gets paid. That's unfortunate for him. Oh well.
But big dog. Some
Yeah.
people on social media, everybody's talking about, he looked just like Bubba the Love Sponge, and I said, no, that guy's too small. He doesn't look like Bubba the Love Sponge. I mean, with the glasses and the hair.
And he's too young too.
Yeah. But it took so much security guard to get him the hell out of there. He must weigh like, what, 600 pounds?
No, he wasn't that heavy. I mean,
No.
he was not that heavy. He was probably about
600.
250, 260. But I mean, and Jericho, I mean, he threw the one punch, and I
Yeah.
don't even know how well it connected. But I'm pretty sure the guards there and the wrestlers that are around ringside as part of the fan experience, I'm pretty sure some of those guys got some punches in, because that happens when one wrestler, it's a brotherhood. So when one wrestler gets attacked by a fan, all the other wrestlers are going to kick the holy shit out of him. It's happened before,
Yeah.
and it'll happen again, where everybody gets their punches in.
And I don't know who you are, but these guys work out and train every single day and do everything that they can to be in peak physical form for the most part, to do what they do on a nightly basis. And I don't care how strong or how awesome you think you are, there's no way you're going to run in and create some mischief and cause some damage to these people, because they see these people beating each other up and they keep getting back up and doing this and doing that because there's a script that they're following, and yes, there is a tinge of realism to it, but if these guys decide to really clock you one, you're done. You're laid out. You're not getting up from this shit if they want to hurt you. And I would never want to be up against any one of these people. I don't care, ladies, men, any one of them. I wouldn't want to have to take a hit from any of them. I wouldn't even want to take a hit from Ric Flair. He's ancient.
But he could probably still chop the hell out of you, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I might stand a chance against Vince McMahon, but but not Ric Flair, man. He'll still whoop you, and he'll do it with a cracked woo.
Yeah, no kidding. If you ever want to see chops, if you ever want to go down the YouTube rabbit hole,
oh god,
look up a wrestler called Walter, and just put in Walter and chops, and oh my god,
that's terrifying.
I don't need. Excuse me. I don't need to look that up, because in 2017 I saw that with my friend Kevin. He's like, today's my birthday. So before the show, we all went to the backstage area and like, hey, what's going on?
He took a chop from Walter?
No, he took a chop from one of the APW guys.
Oh,
because he wanted a special birthday present for himself. And they were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "You don't want to do this." He goes, "No, I'm gonna do it." And I wish myself or somebody would have got that on video, because he just went around, like during intermission, he goes and lifts his shirt up and he shows his family. tells everybody, "Look, I got a chop!" Like,
Oh Lord.
and his chest is just all vibrant red.
Oh
Oh,
God. Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. He wanted a birthday celebration for himself, and that's what he got. He wanted a birthday chop.
You say take him to a strip club. Jesus.
I actually have pictures of Will Ospreay, who right now is in New Japan, and he was wrestling Walter at PWG, and he took probably about 14 chops from
Ugh.
Walter altogether throughout the match. And my buddy went to take a picture with him, and his whole entire chest is just beat red. And anybody that knows who Will Ospreay is, he's a skinny white guy and really pale
Yeah.
white guy. He's from
Mhm.
England, so he's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that pale white skin. And Walter just lit him up. I mean, his entire chest, all those blood vessels are all busted because I mean his entire chest was completely red.
That's horrible. That's disgusting. Why would you? Oh God. Why would your friend do that to himself, man? That's just.
I don't know. That he said, "I'm turning 18, and this is what I need for my birthday." And we all
See,
went,
see now,
"Okay."
I would do it, but right now I'd be afraid because of my heart. I don't know what happened with that, with that hit to the heart. I don't know what that would do to my heart. Now, before my heart condition happened, I would probably have taken a chop from some of these guys, one of the bigger guys like Fatu or someone like that. That's Roger's buddy, Fatu.
Sure.
You
I
remember
know who
Fatu?
he is, but yeah,
Would you
that's
take
my
a would
buddy.
you take would you take a chop from him, Roger?
Well, it depends how much money was involved.
I,
At my age, it
I'd pay
depends
him.
how much money is involved.
I'd pay him $100 to do it to you.
He's going to use his money to give that when Corky could get chopped.
I was gonna say
Wow.
if ever he listened to the show, he'd do it for free.
He might. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
I'm sure they've listened to our programs in the past because of Matt Man. And by the way, Speedy, how is Matt doing recently?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's hanging in there.
Good.
He's like me. Well, actually, I've been alone by myself, but now he's by
You've
himself
been
too. Probably.
alone by yourself? Oh, well, thank you for clarifying that, Matt.
Yeah, well, he is too now.
It,
I mean, he would.
it's not quite as good as being alone with someone, but it's almost as good.
And him and Zach, they share their dogs in common right now. That's the way he's making it through. So
They share their dogs in common. Okay.
I'm not gonna question that. That they do whatever they want to do.
I'm not
Right.
questioning it either. I just wanted. I guess it had to register. That's why I repeated it. We are redundant and repetitive.
Yep.
What a shock!
And
Elegant proof thereof.
one more thing before I go, and that is Big Dog.
Yep.
Why is Vince McMahon blaspheming? Because Andrade and Aleister Black made their debuts on AEW this week,
Yeah.
but he's blasting Zelina Vega and Charlotte Flair for praising their men for being in a different company.
Because he's an idiot.
Exactly.
Well, that summed that up nicely.
Exactly.
I mean, Zelina was a surprise coming back. Although I reported a few weeks ago that she was training in the facility.
Right.
So she made her comeback, which was fine. She's actually a very good wrestler, although has never been given the chance to show it. And Charlotte can pretty much say what she wants. She is on the top of the heap as far as women's wrestling and WWE is concerned. They're not gonna. Vince might have gotten mad, but if it's her own Twitter account, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's her man. It's a guy she's engaged to. She's gonna get married to. If they haven't already gotten married, I'm not sure. But of course, she didn't complain when Renee would be praising Moxley. There was never word about Vince complaining about that. So,
Right.
and I don't hear Vince complaining to Adam Cole when he praises Britt Baker, his fiance.
Yeah.
When he praised her, saying, "I'm so happy that you won the AE," and he even said it, the AEW Women's World Championship. He put that on his Adam Cole at WWE Twitter account. Vince didn't say anything, so Vince has got to retire. I mean, he's 77, 78. He needs to retire. Enjoy his billions.
Yeah. Something like that.
Or put his thinking elsewhere. Go back with his wife when she was running for senator, and he pumped in something like $70 million into the campaign so that she lost. He can
Oh,
do it
yeah.
again. He can do it again.
Yeah, he could. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'll leave you guys to do the rest of the show.
Matt, before you go, I don't know if you talked about it when I was having problems. Did you talk about Bailey being hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, we
Now,
didn't.
okay.
I don't think she's actually hurt. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I mean, that she might show up at the pay-per-view.
If she is, then a lot of people are going to be really pissed because this was reported across everywhere. Deadspin, TMZ, Sports Illustrated, CBS Sports, all the real sporting agencies and internet reporters, they all reported this as a legit injury. So if this is a work, they're not going to be reporting anymore. And Vince, I hope, I mean, I don't hope that she's hurt, but hopefully it was a legit injury, because if it turns out to be a work, CBS and all the regular sporting companies, they're not going to report wrestling anymore. Because they legitimately went out there and said, hey, she's hurt. She's out for 9 months. The word is she tore her ACL. That's the word.
Yeah.
So if this is a work, then Vince, excuse my French, scorekeeper, but Vince fucked up big time if that's where he's going with this one, because you don't mess with regular reporters like that.
They speak
The
French.
Times, the Post, everybody reported it. So
Well, and also I think that I don't think it's legitimate either, due to the fact that last night on SmackDown, she made a video promo via satellite and
yeah,
basically cut a promo saying, well, I'm going to be hurt. But, I would like to still beat up the women's champion, but we'll have to deal with that later. I can't right now and she did move her leg. If you go back and watch that last night, I'm like, wait, why would you move your leg if you...
You can move your leg. I tore my PCL and I walked 3 blocks back to work with the torn PCL. It can be done. Look at Kobe. Kobe tore his ligament completely off and walked off the court. Having your leg propped up, having your leg propped up, you can move it. There's no. It's not like you're gonna shatter something. It's a torn ligament. You can move around and stuff, but you just can't do anything physical. That's why she had the brace on there to help her stabilize her knee. Because as of right now, with no ACL there, her kneecap floats. Because that's what happened with mine when I tore my PCL, which is a posterior, which is the one in the back. My kneecap floats around. Doctor could actually go like this, and like a computer mouse could move my kneecap all around, which you couldn't do that to the other one, because I have all my ligaments all were complete on that one. So
Probably doped up on painkillers too that she probably wasn't feeling too much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it supposedly happened the night before or that morning. So yeah, she's doing the promo and stuff because they're gonna work her in, because she was hot. She was cresting back up again with her feud. So if anything, they're probably gonna have her be a heel announcer. A heel guest commentator or something like that, to keep her prevalent, so you don't forget about her for 9 months, like Becky Lynch. When Becky just walked away, everybody kind of forgot about her. So I think Bailey's just going to make sure she's not forgotten, they're probably going to work something because they had a program worked out for her. So
Well, nobody's really forgotten because also, now that you mentioned that, I'll have to bring that up now. In that Matt Riddle before SmackDown, before they did the taping, he actually went to Seth Rollins last night, and he said, "I apologize for my comments
oh yeah,
on Becky and what I said about her on Twitter and everything else. I apologize." And so Seth was like, "Well, apology accepted, but she doesn't appreciate that. Just don't ever say that about us again, please."
no, I know that, but see what and the reason why they're bringing her up is because she's getting back to return. So they're trying to put her name out. But Matt, I mean, you watch it all the time. I watch it some of the time, but you watch it all the time. How many times over the last 6 months has Becky's name been mentioned? 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. She's not been prevalent before this. Since she's getting ready to come back, they're bringing her name back because they want people to start remembering her again. The thing with Bailey is they don't know the extent of the injury, so they're saying 9 months, but maybe she'll be back in 3. Maybe it's just a stretched ligament. Because a lot of times when you do that, like for me, when I tore my PCL, it took 2 weeks before the swelling would go down enough where they could do the MRI correctly to distinguish that it was actually torn. So they're probably going to have to wait, and this was 20 something years ago. So I know science and MRIs have gotten way better. So the wait might not be as long, maybe a week or less than a week, but they don't know the extent of the injury. So they're saying 9 months, but she could be back in 3. So that's why she's cutting this promo, is to keep everybody in mind that, hey, I'm hurt, but we don't know how long I'm hurt. So let's keep her in the storyline, and then she can make the miraculous comeback or something.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see what happens.
Where are you off to?
My church is going to San Francisco, so
Oh, okay.
I gotta get down there and help them load up, and then we're off.
Oh, I was going to say, your church is going to San Francisco, so you're going to the local bar?
No.
Preacher Johnny Walker is talking?
No, but I've got to put on sunscreen otherwise, because it's going to get hot over here. Sure, it's going to get hot where you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
Down there in SoCal.
Shit. You all don't know shit about hot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we don't know about humidity. We know about hot. We don't know about humidity.
No.
You don't. I don't know. I'll kidding aside, Dream. Does it get to be 100, 104 over there?
After humidity, it gets to about 230.
No,
stop exaggerating.
I'm just saying.
It's
I'm
only
just
225. All right, you're right. Man, I'm talking about it's so hot in the kitchen. You're walking around in shorts making a slurry downstairs. It's pretty gross, man. It's gross.
I think cooks are the ones that they invented the term swamp ass. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
by the way, Dream, is that one of the real reasons why you've decided to call it quits out there in New Orleans? The weather?
Yes.
That is part of it, huh?
There was I think the first day we came to Louisiana, it was like raining, like torrential rain. Aww. And from what I was used to, like I thought Noah was going to be floating by in a minute, and it was just not a pleasant experience for me. And everybody's walking around shorts, t-shirt, like whatever. You'll dry off in a minute. I was like, what are you talking about? You'll dry off? Oh, yes. Yes. As soon as you like literally step under an awning, you're dry. Because all that heat and humidity is just like, bleh. It's gross. Like your clothes are dry, but inside you feel like you walked into a sauna.
Yeah, I made the mistake of when I took my kids to Disney World. We went in August.
That was your first mistake, going to Disney World.
Oh no, no! That was the best time. We had the best week there. I spent so much freaking money.
Yeah,
but they had the best time. But yeah, I would never. I can't. I think no. You know what? In fact, we went in September. Even worse. So humidity was like 90%, and we had to walk from the hotel room to the bus stop, which was in Disneyland. They use buses to get everywhere around, and it was maybe 80 yards away. And walking just from the hotel room to the bus stop, you had to take another shower because you were just drenched. It was
Man,
nasty. Yeah, that
I'll
was
tell
that.
you, the only person sweating more is Paul George.
uh, nah, he don't give a shit. He's getting his millions. He
And
don't care.
All of his
I
promises.
guess according to some of my friends that have been to Disneyland in the last 3 weeks, yeah, they're not really worried about the Mac at Disneyland anymore.
You're not worried about the what?
The whole Mac thing.
Oh no,
Oh no, yeah. They,
only so they everybody got around it because they put it on the person. They said if you're vaccinated, you don't need to
yeah,
wear the mask. So
yes,
everybody's just gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'm vaccinated. I don't have to wear it."
yeah. They're going by the honor system.
Yeah, and
Right.
that is where things are gonna get screwed. But
Although I did read, and whether or not it's true, but I did read that you don't have to, the honor system, blah blah blah. But that once you go inside, if you're in like one of the long lines waiting to whatever ride you're riding, once you enter inside of it, you have to wear a mask because they don't do the 6 feet apart. Now I don't know if that's true anymore or not because that was right when everything first opened.
that probably wouldn't have worked. Their lines would have been freaking back to the gate, no matter what ride you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go back down there next year because I never did the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and I never did the night shows. I feel terrible about that.
You've never done Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
That's a great spot to go when you have a date.
Oh yeah. That is a
Just know
and the haunted mansion.
Just know that there are cameras everywhere. So don't
Of
do
course.
anything not family friendly. But it is a nice, cozy little, put my arm around you, hold the hand kind of moment. And
Yeah.
but lights, cameras are everywhere, and they see everything, and you will get kicked out for anything inappropriate.
If you get caught. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. If you get caught,
And if there's not a pervy security guard watching the camera.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Disney, but yeah, we know it is.
If there's
Yep. All right, guys.
if there's a pervy guard watching the cameras, he ain't gonna say shit. He's just gonna keep watching.
And he
Anyway,
probably hit the record button.
have fun in San Francisco, man.
Have fun,
Thank
yeah.
you,
I
miss
will.
you.
May your trip be speedy. Oh well, he missed it.
He is gone.
He was
Maybe he'll
speedy.
go to the Blue Oyster Bar.
He left too quick. He pulled out too quick.
He did.
Anyways, NBA Finals. We haven't said anything about it yet, as far as I know.
We mentioned that it was happening, and that was about it.
It took us how long to get to it? Almost 2.5 hours.
Probably more, but yeah.
Anyways, so Big Dog, comments,
Yes.
concerns. What do you think's going on? What do you think's going to happen? Is Chris Paul finally going to get his ring?
I would think so based on the way they've been playing. Milwaukee did some really good adjustments in Game 2. They were able to get Giannis going, and he scored his 40. I think it was 41 points and 14 rebounds and such. But they still didn't have enough of the other stars to offset Phoenix. Phoenix is just on fire right now. But I will say that Milwaukee has lost the first two games before, and in the previous series, of course, against New Jersey, Brooklyn. They lost the first two games, and then, of course, won it in 6. 6. So we'll have to wait and see. In fact, the game is tomorrow in Milwaukee. But as far as the way it's been going, the way it looks, I'm actually happy for CP3. He's not. I'm not a big fan of his, but the guy's been around for 16 years. Probably one of the best point guards in the league right now, even at 36. I think he's 36 or 37. Still produces. Um, and he has been bitten by the worst luck so many times in a row that he's one of those guys you just feel sorry for.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's there and he is contributing to the team winning. I mean, both those wins were his. He game one had CP3 written all over it. He set up everybody for the first 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter he just took over.
Yep. Couldn't get it done in New Orleans. Couldn't get it done in Clippers,
Yep.
and
Or Houston, nor Oklahoma City,
or Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's like he found all these teams that were poised to go and couldn't get it done, and now might be his time to actually just claim it. And he might have to be. You know how we have playoff Rondo? It might end up being C playoff 3.
Yeah,
Instead, because his whole game has changed. Like his averages completely changed from regular season to playoffs, especially in this series.
And he's nursing injuries. He
So
said the shoulder.
Giannis though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that one right now. But of course, in the first round, he had that shoulder injury against the Lakers, and he says he still has lingering effects from that. But he has an injured right wrist. That I believe I believe he said there's a fracture in his metacarpal, which he's probably going to have to take care of. He said during the off season, and then I believe it was either early game 2 or late game 1, he was trying to reach in and had a Rondo foul where he reached in for a steal and ended up hitting the opposing player in the hip bone. So he injured his left hand. So he has a injured left wrist and a broken bone in his right hand. And, he's still putting up the points that he's putting up.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, as we said, Giannis is doing everything he can. He's trying to put the team on his shoulders. But Phoenix just has too much firepower. They have too many things going on. If CP3 isn't hitting, all of a sudden you have Devin Booker that can score 60 points because he's done it before.
Yep.
And this kid's only 23. And you have DeAndre Ayton, of course, that's been doing great. But that injury to Giannis in game 4, where his knee just completely went the wrong way and it was a hyperextended knee. I mean, we all thought either he wasn't going to be back till maybe game 4, game 5 of the championship series, or he wasn't going to be back, period. And Giannis has said in interviews that he thought his season was completely over, that he wasn't going to be back till next year. And he showed up and he played 40 some odd minutes in game 1, put up about, I think it was 28 points, and had that monster reject, the LeBron style come from behind block in the game, where he's not showing any effects to that knee. And of course, game 2, he scored 42 points, and had that monster game, which of course still wasn't enough. So I don't know. I don't know what more the coach is going to have to do in game 3 to get these guys going. I mean, they need to stop Phoenix because
they need to stop letting Giannis take 3-point shots. They need to stop letting him handle the ball, bring it down the court. He needs to get inside the middle and do his thing there.
Yeah, and it's essentially what he did in game 2, where I think most of those 42 points came from the interior. But I know exactly what you're saying. They need to get the ball out of his hands. He needs not to shoot 3-pointers. And for God's sake, please make 65% of your free throws. I believe right now he's lucky if he's at 50%.
Yeah.
For the series, and they're playing it's Hack a Freak. They did Hack a Shaq. They've done Hack a Dwight. and now they're doing it with Giannis because he cannot hit those free throws. And the away team, or the Phoenix team, the fans are great. As soon as he gets that ball, they start that 10 count. And it's a fast 10 count, of course, but you can see Giannis kind of hurrying his shot just a bit, and that's usually when he misses.
Yep. And the thing is, it gets in your head because in your head you have a certain rhythm
Yep.
that you're following, which is to an actual shot clock. And you start hearing that 10 count, even though it's a little fast, and you start, wait, where am I? What's going on? And that affects everything.
Yeah.
And
you could see it in his face when the camera does a close up of his face. You can just in his eyes you can see that, oh shit, I gotta make this, and that's usually when they're not gonna make it.
yeah,
Because once you start thinking about free throwing, that's it, you're done.
yeah,
You just have to shoot it. You have to get up there and get in your rhythm, and you shoot. Once you start thinking about a shot, that's when you miss them.
yeah. Look at the classic Michael Jordan with his eyes closed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those things where you have to know exactly what you're doing every single time.
It's a Derrick Rose muscle memory.
Yeah. And every single, all right, Michael Jordan wasn't the best free throw shooter, but he made them.
Yep. When it counted, he made them.
And that's one of the things you have to look at is does it go down? Are you making these shots? And like you said, the second you start thinking about it, you're done. It just has to be there.
You know what I was surprised about, and I don't know why I looked it up for whatever reason. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I remember him being as a pretty damn good free throw shooter.
Not really.
And his career free throwing was only 72%. And
Yeah.
I could have sworn he was a better free throw because I remember, in the playoffs, I didn't check his playoff numbers, but I do remember in the playoffs he hit those that he needed to hit, especially 1988 Game 6 when he had to hit those 2 free throws to get us into Game 7. But
he was damn good, but not elite.
Yeah, exactly.
In free throws.
And I wanted to laugh. I actually laughed hysterically out loud, and my daughter kind of looked at me like, "What are you laughing at?" Someone was saying that Seth Curry is the best point guard of all time.
Seth or Steph?
Steph Curry was the best point guard of all time, and I laughed, and I'm like, please. He may be the best shooter of all time.
Yes. I'll give you that.
Or the best point guard shooter of all time, if not the best shooter, period. But not the best point guard. No. That is a man, that was here in Los Angeles wearing number 32.
Yep.
And I don't, to me, that was a millennial post because that's all they know. And it's
he's
sad.
The best point guard they have seen.
Yes. And it's sad because a lot of these kids that are, 15 to 25, they only know Jordan from videos and his tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Mean, I will tell you this right now. I will take Oscar Robertson over Steph Curry right now.
As a point guard? Or?
As a point guard, yeah. Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson.
Oh
yeah,
sorry.
the big O.
I'm on 4 hours of sleep right now. But
that's more than me and Scorekeeper.
Yes, but this has been building up all week. Yesterday we had somebody call out, so we had a 3-man crew all day, and it was a crazy busy day, and I felt every dish.
I can't remember if I asked you or not, and I probably didn't. And forgive me for asking again, but do you also cook?
Yes.
Okay.
Every day.
I mean, because I know you run the restaurant and stuff, but I mean, you can go back there and if need be, like you said, with the 3-man crew, you got to get in there and.
No, I'm on the line. I'm part of that crew every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a floor general, so to speak. I'm in there. I don't believe in telling my crew where to go. I believe in showing them what to do.
Oh, I do. I believe in telling them where to go and how to find it.
The funny thing though is when you said you're a floor general, there was a slight smirk by scorekeeper. I think that he liked that comment.
Yeah.
No, I'm in there, man. I don't play games. I'm part of the line every single day. Um, it's what I do. I have to be here for my team. You know, I can't. I have never been a believer of just telling people do this, do that, do this, do that, and expecting them to do things that I'm not willing to do myself.
Well, since the three, and I'm not sure if Almighty ever worked retail, but so you're saying you're not an office manager?
No, I am definitely not an office manager.
Because boy, we have known some office managers, haven't we, scorekeeper?
Yes, me too. Um, like we have an office where we do all the paperwork and stuff, and my sister-in-law is usually in there working on the computer and watching Facebook videos of cats and whatnot. Um, but I like when she's off, it's like the computer don't even get turned on until the end of the night when I have to count monies, and it's like it's just one of those things. Like I'm not in there hiding. Like I can't do that. There's too much stuff that needs to get done, and if I'm not there directing and doing, then it doesn't get done, and then it falls back on me, and then I have to be here till all hours of the night and early morning to make sure it gets done. So it's like I'm in there doing as well as delegating and making sure everything gets accomplished every day, 6 days a week.
What day are you closed?
Sundays.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That happened when I took over the kitchen, actually. Before it was my sister-in-law and I both running the kitchen, and we were open 7 days a week. And so I would have an off day, and then she would have an off day, and we'd kind of go about there. But then she decided she only wanted to work in the front and with the customers and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then, and I'm the only one running the kitchen, then you pick a day. I don't care what day it is, but whatever day that is, we're closed. I was like, that's the end of the story. I'm not budging on that because I'm not going to be working 7 days a week, open to close for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not what I'm doing. I'm not about that. And they picked Sunday, and I said, okay. They were like, how does Sunday work? I was like, I don't care what day you pick. You could pick Wednesday, Tuesday. I don't care. Pick any day that ends in Y. Because I'm just not going to do it 7 days a week. It's not going to happen.
Were you guys slower on a Sunday? Is that why she picked it, or she just?
We were closing early on Sundays because
okay.
like after like 6 or 7, it kind of died down. So we just started closing early on Sundays, and then so we were losing less hours by closing on a Sunday.
Okay,
So
I get you.
we're like, all right, well, fine, Sunday's done. As soon as they decided, I was like, I'm good, done. But it's just one of those things. So it has been a fun ride. I can't wait to get back. Arizona's the next target, and then after that is going to be California. But
Really?
yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be in North Hollywood somewhere off of
Sunset.
Yeah.
Man, I can't afford that corner, big dog.
You're gonna be like across the street from the Chateau Marmont or something like that.
Shit. I'll be down in Skid Row, man. Shit. I can't afford to work the same blocks you do.
Maybe we'll put you in LA Live. You just walk across street and catch a Laker game and then come back and finish cooking.
There you go. Oh man, that's right. So scorekeeper Almighty, any comments on the finals?
No, I only caught the first 2 games, so I was listening to you guys, and I didn't really want to add anything else to that. I'm really happy with CP3. Look, don't want to get into all the stuff around with CP3. Just really happy the old man's getting his shot, and he's playing way better than I expected him to play.
I am actually very surprised, pleasantly, about what he's been able to accomplish so far.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very interested in what happens this offseason, especially with the injuries adding up and his age and if he gets his ring, does he just say, you know what, I'm good?
Nah.
You think he's gonna push it for another couple years?
Let me see what his contract looks like. Contract summary. There it is. I want the Phoenix Suns. There's the Bucks. Where the frick are there? The Suns right there. He has one more year on the contract. It's an option year. I think if they win the title, he opts in because otherwise he's walking away from $44.2 million next year. And I don't see him doing that. Unless he's 36. I mean, if I'm any other team in the NBA and he decides to go free agent, and I'm gonna pick if I pick him up, I'm not giving him more than 2 years, maybe 3 max. You know, because of his injuries, because of his age.
Yeah.
But I think if he wins the title, I think he'll run it back with the Suns next year. He'll opt in just to try and get that because he's the only guy that's not technically, I guess you could say, let's say he opts out. He's the only guy on the team that is not under contract next year. Every other person on that team is under contract.
And that's kind of where I'm thinking the opposite. I'm saying if they don't win, I think he's gonna opt in for one last year and give it one final run, and try to get his ring. I feel like if he wins, I think he's gonna be like, you know what, I've accomplished everything I want to accomplish. I got my ring, I got my money, I got everything else. I'm hurt, I'm tired, I'm old. Let me just enjoy what I got.
Do you walk away from $44.2 million though?
Think about how much he's already made.
Yeah, but you still get $44.2 million.
I wouldn't. I would if I had that kind of money. I mean, that's like me.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
Like if I were to tell you, all right, I want you to give me another year of your life for $100. It's like, nah, I'm good. I got that. I've got more than that in the bank already. I'm straight. Like I think
you and I both have more than $100 in our accounts today, right now. We're not talking $100.
No, but I'm saying like 42 to him, 42 mil to him is like $100 to us. He's got money.
42.
No.
Okay, 42.
Dude, he hasn't earned that much.
42 million is about 20% of his net, 27% of his net worth.
Yeah, Dream.
I'm looking it up right now. His net worth is $130 million.
42 million? Yes.
You're telling me that you can't live comfortably for the rest of your life for $130 million?
I could live comfortably on $2 million, or if I had to, $1 million. That's not a problem. But the fact is, if someone's willing to give me that, and I can, don't forget though, because he likes the mentoring of aspect of what he does, and the fact that he's elevated, pretty much every center that he's played with ever. So I think the $42 million, if they win the championship, I think he comes back and to help further Devin Booker and the team. But I think also he's going to start transitioning into an assistant coach style type of a player. And I don't see him walking away from the game. He's going to stay in the game as an assistant coach. I think maybe even in management, because he has been president of the Players Association now for a few years and done a damn good job doing it.
I agree with that. I see him also as an announcer. Like he could be like as an announcer for NBA.
Yeah, I guess. I guess as a
Because
color
he's already
guy,
he's done the commercials and stuff like.
yeah.
Oh, we lost Dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, could you see him as a? I mean, I haven't really heard him give an extended interview. I guess because you have people like Richard Jefferson and Reggie Miller. They have their stories and they're comical and such, and then you have like the blandness of oh shoot, what's his name?
My point
He-
exactly.
He's
You
always
don't
with
even remember his name.
He's always with Van Gundy. Coach. He was the coach of the Golden State Warriors before Kerr.
Survey says Michael Cooper.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Oh, yes.
Mark Jackson is not a great. Michael Cooper was never with the Warriors. I'm gonna slap you when I see you.
Yes, promises.
I didn't say where-
Dodger pitcher, watch it.
I didn't say where I'd slap you.
Don't tempt him with a good time.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I went to the Dodgers. Well, there was two reasons, but the primary reason was because the Dodgers don't have that pitcher on their team now. I'm really happy.
Well, he's still on the team. He's just not
He's not
playing
playing.
for them.
He can't be there. As we talked about it yesterday, Big Dog, he's being paid as well while he's off. But he's not with the team. I wouldn't see him play. It's time to go see the Dodgers.
So where do his bobbleheads go? I keep asking. Since the Bauer bobblehead night was done away with.
Oh, I thought they just put an extra spring in the neck.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Actually, I was thinking they put a spring in the ass so you could slap the ass or slap the head, either one, kind of bouncing around. Look at scorekeeper.
I'm looking at my artificial fish tank to calm.
They take the spring out of the neck, and they just make it like one of those stress ball material so you can squeeze it. Oh Lord! All right, that's neither here nor there. But either way,
let us make a joke of sexual assault. No problem, boys.
Yeah, that's horrible. Man, I'm going to hell. But it's been a good run.
I'll see you there. I'll save a spot for you.
Nice.
Almighty, do you have anything to say to that?
No.
About these two boys going to hell?
So since we're on the end of this program,
I'll just say hi when I see him.
let's say this guy ends up going to hell, and he lived a shitty life, and he goes and he runs into Satan, and Satan's like, "Okay, I'm here to lead you to your torture room." And he goes, "Okay, fine, let's do what you got to do. Give me your worst." And Satan's like, "You sure?" He says, "Okay, I got you." So he takes him to this room, and there's this gorgeous blonde-haired girl giving this really old fat man, sweaty, disgusting dude, the most miraculous type of fellatio you can imagine, and just going to town on him. And he's like, "Well, that don't look so bad. I wouldn't mind that myself." He goes, "All right, cool." So,
I already know where you're going with this one.
Gabby, come on back. You found your replacement.
Did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
Oh, no, sorry. Was I clapping?
It's okay. He woke up.
Yep. Am I getting an angry text message? Was that typing?
No. I think it was just an accidental tapping on the mouse. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to say that.
Oh. Is that what you call it now?
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
Okay, I need a
refill. Is that a mouse
gentlemen.
in your pocket?
Oh, you're funny. You are funny.
Is that a mouse in your pocket? You just happen to see me. All right.
All right, be nice. Gentlemen, I am going to take a quick 2-minute break. I'm going to ask all of us to take a quick 2-minute break. So if you guys need a refill on your coffees or anything, this would be a great moment to do so. And I'm going to have a video play in the background, which runs just a little over 2 minutes.
Well, I am going to. I'm going to have to get back to work right now, so I'm going to see you guys on the flip side.
All right, fair enough. Gentlemen, do you guys want to take a quick break, or do you want to continue? I need a quick shot of coffee.
You're the boss.
All right, let's take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back in a little over 2 minutes.
Bye, guys.
Good afternoon. In less than a week, we hope to fire up our grills and launch one of the biggest 4th of July celebrations in the history of the United States. The United States. Those words have new meaning for us all today. And whether you drive a pickup or a hybrid, you live in the heartland or on the coast, or whether you pronounce it America or Murica, we're all Americans. Seldom on the same page, but reading from the same book. On holidays, anyway. Perhaps it's fate that this 4th of July, we gotta once again come together to lend a hand to those less fortunate whose fate still lies in the balance. We're fighting for freedom for all, not from alien invaders. From separation. From being cooped up while baking bread and ignoring basic hygiene. The time has come for us to get fresh, gather the crew, and eat veggie and meat burgers till we sweat. And then, let's work together towards a future where everyone can come to the party. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as...
Oh,
All right. Yep, I just learned something. I apologize. When you switch banners, you lose the video feed. And I was like, I wonder if we're going to lose that one right now. And sure enough, we did. So
the video showed you. The video was on.
Yes, but then when I switched from the banner of that program to Sports Talk with the Guys, it stopped the video instantly.
Ah.
So I learned something real well, very quickly. So yeah, machine is still doing what it needs to do. So Big Dog, I ask you to bear with me a moment. I still need a few more seconds. Go ahead. I'll be right back, gentlemen. Do you guys want me to run the video again, or you guys ready to continue? I need a few more seconds.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Okay,
Take your
continue,
seconds.
gentlemen.
So it's been happening. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what did you want to talk about?
I'm gonna ask you about Marvel being distributed by Penguin starting in September.
Yeah, that's a big one. Well, they had originally been doing it for, I think, over the last year, but it was an agreement with them and Diamond that they would continue. I guess the books go from Marvel to Penguin, Penguin to Diamond, and then Diamond would distribute them. And then over this last year, the transition would just be going just to Penguin. So Diamond is the one that's hurting right now because, I mean, they have no DC. Now they don't have Marvel. I don't know if they can survive just on independence. I mean,
yeah, I know. And
I mean, Jeppy's got money. I mean, cause I know who it is. It's Steve Jeppy. I actually know him from back in the day when I used to work with the gentleman's name was John Verzel, and he was probably one of the biggest Golden Age collectors out there. He bought a collection back in the mid '80s and turned that collection into a powerhouse. So he dealt, and it's weird because him and Jeppy and another guy that's, I guess, really huge in New York as far as collecting, they all grew up together. So these guys were all childhood friends that stayed in the comic business. Jeppy just was the one most well off. But Jeppy's got his hands in other stuff, and he has his, I think it's the Superman Museum in Baltimore, because he's out of Baltimore.
yeah,
So Jeppy...
well, he has. I don't know if it's just a Superman museum, but I know he has one.
Yeah,
maybe it is
maybe it's a comic book museum in essence, but I'm not sure what he calls it. But I know he has a lot of his grails there that are on display and other stuff he's come across over the years. But yeah, Diamond's been doing a bad job. I don't know how it is in your area, but everybody that I talk to, they say pretty much Diamond hasn't really cared about the books the way they pack them for a couple of years because a lot of damage comes out of Diamond.
Yeah, I've heard those stories too, but that's what happens when you have a monopoly.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it was. He had the monopoly for God, what,
Decades.
20, 30 years? Yeah,
Yep.
decades, literally decades.
Yeah, so I
And
mean, I know you know them, but I'm not a fan of monopolies.
yeah, I agree too. And I always thought, wow, he's the only guy in town. What happens if you can't pay your bill or you get him pissed off? I mean, I was told that there was, I guess, one company that if Jeppy doesn't have you as an account, you can go through them. But I guess they were like really expensive. But then I think is it Midtown that started doing it?
Yeah, well, Midtown offers a big discount, but not as
Well,
much as.
well, there.
What do
I
you mean like a subscription service through
no,
Midtown?
no, distribution like Diamond.
I don't know. I know they offer a subscription,
Oh
and if
yeah,
you
yeah,
you get 35% off and all this
yeah.
stuff. But I
Um,
don't know about them distributing. I haven't heard that.
yeah.
Maybe
The
they
new
are. I mean, I don't see why not. They seem big enough.
yeah the new company that took over and the one that distributes DC Comics. I believe it's owned. I believe it's owned by it's whatever JSC or something like that. It's owned by
Right.
Midtown. It's
Oh,
owned
is
by
it?
yeah. It's owned by a comic company. I mean a comic book
Oh,
store. I think it's Midtown because they're
yeah,
so huge.
yeah.
And
And
I know they're at it. Yeah,
I've heard some owners complain about that one too a little bit. They're a little frustrated with them, but
yeah,
I don't know. It seems like everything's up in the air right now with who's going where.
yeah.
And
A lot of people are
I don't
complaining.
I don't mind Penguin if they're going to end up in also bookstores where people can actually find them besides the comic book shop.
Yeah, and I
And they
think
have to do something because of all the comic book shops that have been closing
oh yeah,
over the years. I mean, there's just not enough
yeah,
stores to keep these companies, alive. The big
yeah.
ones, at least.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming down to that where it's just those big ones or a lot of the ones that are on Facebook that do the online sales because that's where, it's not worth having a brick and mortar, open for X amount of hours a day, because it's just not enough money in comics right now, for the most part, unless you've been around for a while. And I know COVID really hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, that closed a lot of stores last year
Yeah.
too, and plus they were closing before that anyway because
Oh yeah, yeah.
and some of it could have been just bad business practices too because it's not as easy as you think to run a
Oh
comic
yeah,
book store because
I've seen it.
I
It's a
mean,
hard business because like I said, when I used to help out John back in the day, and that would have been in the late '80s, early '90s, I was helping him out, and I'd go in, help him bag and board and separate he would get his delivery late Tuesday night, and I would be there with them. It was a group of friends. It was cool because I was working close by, and I went to visit them as a comic shop and found out that John liked to play basketball and liked basketball. So we ended up like going to the local gym like on a Thursday, the Thursday YMCA with a bunch of us comic geeks, and we'd play ball against the guys that were there. And John was actually a very good player, so we had that in common. And so I'd help him out, and he actually took me to the cons, and that got me into going to cons. He took me to San Diego for I think 4 straight years,
wow.
where he had one of the bigger tables. As I said, he was real big in Golden Age and Silver, and he had a lot of the Mile High runs in his collection. And this was before they slapped all the books, so they were all raw. And when he'd go to San Diego, he would have usually a minimum of 10 tables of comics with the boards, with the everything set up behind him. So he'd take 5 or 6 of us, and of course John would run the big board, as we like to call it, where all his books behind him were, even back then, all the books behind him were 25,000 and up, and then like mine was like 1,000 to 7,000. So people would come by. We'd have the stuff on the front tables, which were a lot cheaper, But anybody that wanted to see stuff behind us, we would be there for that. And he would pay for our hotel, he'd pay for our dinners, and of course, he would drive us down there with him. We'd go like in 3 different cars, and he would take literally, geez, uh, probably close to 100 long boxes of all golden and silver age high grade stuff. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him. In fact, I was there where he made the trade with Jeppy. I think that's where I met Jeppy, because Jeppy had Marvel Comics #1 in Mile High, and John had the run from issue 2 through 72 in Mile High. So he'd been after that #1 issue, and he knew Jeppy had it, and had been trying for about 3 years to get it. And they finally made that deal. And at the time, that was the biggest sale in comics history at that time. I think it was 90 maybe 90 or 91, and it was $135,000 that was done in trade and cash in total, and that was the biggest one. And holding that damn book, because he let me hold it for about 5 minutes while he took care of it. Holding that, I was so damn nervous holding this $135,000 book in my hand. I was so afraid I was going to drop the damn thing. I was like, "Here, take it back, please."
Oh, no doubt, man. I'd say no. That's on you.
Well, he was such a weird, not a weird guy. He ran to the beat of his own drum. His idea of dressing regular was sweats and a Three Stooges t-shirt. And if you asked him to dress up, he'd wear jeans and a Three Stooges t-shirt. That was his version. So, at the con, of course he'd visit other tables to buy stuff. Well, he didn't like carrying money, so he'd have me, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", and at the time I was only about 240. I'm more than that now. But, it was either me or another guy who was also a big guy. And he would tell his wife, her name was Nan. He'd say, "Nan, Peter, you're going to walk with me." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Nan, give him $15,000. And she'd roll off, and she'd just hand me this big old wad of cash. And I put it in my pocket. And I'd walk with John, and I'd be, like off of his shoulder, and he'd be talking and blah blah blah, and he'd like, okay, and talk to this one guy for a while. I'm looking at things, and then finally he's like, "Peter," I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Give me $6,500. Okay, there you go. Put the rest of it back in my pocket, and he'd give me the book, and I'm holding the books and holding the cash, and I'm just like, oh my god, if people knew how much money I was carrying in my pocket.
If I just thought you were happy to see him.
That's also where I met Jerry Buss at the time, and he gave us some insider info when at the time they traded for a player. His name was Orlando Woolridge, and he let us know before anybody in the world knew about it. Yeah. He gave us that information, or gave John the information, for a little bit more of a discount on a couple books, because actually Jerry Buss was an investor, so he bought comics.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, getting information for comics, that's
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that happening. The two kind of mixing together like that. Like,
yeah.
Well, gee, I can tell you this inside information if you just give me a discount on this book.
Yeah,
I got this trade thing for you.
Because they were haggling. Of course, Jerry Buss is a multi-millionaire, so they're haggling over the price of I don't know, a $10,000-$15,000 book or whatever. And he's like, well, if that, he's telling John, is that the best you can do? And John's like, well, if you give me some info that no one else knows about, I'll knock off another 1,000 or something like that. So he's like, all right. He goes, okay. So, and I was right there. I was at the table right next to him, because they're all in a row. So I was like in the next table. So I was kind of just like, oh, info. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna pick up Orlando Woolridge next week. He's all, you can't tell anybody. He goes, if I hear that this gets out before we announce it, he goes, I'll know it's you because you're the only one I'm telling. He's all, and I'll never come by from you again. John was like, oh no, I won't say anything. And good as word, he told us to. He goes, you guys better not.
Oh, he
Like,
told
no,
you
no.
too, huh?
Yeah.
I was going to say there's a loophole if he just told John, but not
Yeah,
you.
no,
But
no. No, because I know I wasn't going to mess up that, and he had
yeah,
a very good relationship with Jerry Buss for about the next probably 3-4 more years. That he would take John to the game. They would see the game, then after the game, they'd go into Buss's office and deal, make deals with comics.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, Machine scorekeeper.
Hey,
Having a yogurt.
so
Nah.
so I guess I will get into this week's Canadian Football League news.
Please.
Woohoo!
And right now, the XFL and the CFL have ceased discussions on their merger. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means right now they're not talking about it anymore. And also the scuttlebutt is that the Toronto Argonauts may join the XFL
Oh, wow.
if this, because right now, let's see, they're looking, the Argonauts might be for sale because they're losing 12 million a year in operating costs, and they might take 2022 off before the XFL starts. But it's not. It's just a bunch of things happening with the Toronto team, and the company that owns the Toronto Argonauts also owns the rest of the Toronto sports teams. So it's
Oh,
like
okay.
so they all the company. So they're looking maybe to sell it or do something, but so I don't. So the Argonauts are like up in the air
Hmm.
of what. So I don't know if they're going to go to the XFL merger. I mean, not or if they come to terms or not. I don't know if that's part of it, but I guess they are losing quite a bit of money.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's so but that was the big thing that I came across this week or
I saw
last
that
couple of
art.
days.
I saw the article. I didn't delve quite that deep into it. I saw that the XFL and the CFL had tabled their talks till 2023. So it goes to what you're saying. Maybe with the Argonauts taking 2022 off, that kind of coincides with that.
Well, I don't know how long they're taking off. I think they want the merger to not the merger, but the thing to start in 2023. And that's why Toronto would join the XFL in 2023 because they might be
Yeah.
doing that thing. I don't know if that's what I mean. I don't know. I just know that I think they want to have this. If they do something, I think they're. Well, no, the XFL is starting in 2023, so maybe they are going to not talk anymore until 2023. But you're right, the XFL starts in 2023.
I mean
So
the Argonauts. So I mean they're. I mean, as far as the CFL is concerned, I mean that's usually who you think of as far as like the Americans when they hear CFL. You think of the Argonauts. They're one of the main teams you think of.
yeah,
Uh, as far as the man, that what kind of the word slips me. In essence, I think if I were the Argonauts, I'd want to see for at least a season how the XFL does. So if they do start in 2022, how are they run? Is it going to even make it through the entire season? I mean, I know they
yeah,
have new ownership. The Rock is part owner along with a conglomerate of other people, I believe. But I'd want to see how they run first before a storied franchise in Canadian football history would want to make that big move. Because what
yeah,
if
and
what if they go under? Does then they try and move back or?
go back right. We're back. Well, the Argonauts have been around for 148 years,
Yeah, they're probably
and
the
so that's a lot of history to let go of, and so that's what I've read, and I don't know what's happening. I don't, like I said, they're losing money, and so I don't know if them going to XFL is dependent on whether or not they do join forces and have this big league and beats in a championship or not. But all I know, that's what I've read. That's the scuttlebutt that I've read, and this comes from the Toronto newspaper, so I don't know.
interesting.
But I know that, like you said, they did stop their talks right now about this merger or whatever they want to do with the XFL and
Yeah.
CFL. And
Your
so
thoughts,
that's my
Scorekeeper?
I'm sorry.
Said your thoughts?
Look, the Argonauts. I first of all, I didn't know they were that old, dude. But if that comes to pass, uh, dude, how's the Canadian football going to make up for it if they actually move over?
see. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's dependent on one, on them doing this thing and maybe the Argonauts equaling out the two leagues or not. Like baseball does with trading teams around when they
Mm.
realign their divisions and stuff, and then okay, you're not in the American League anymore. You're over in the National League now, and we'll just do all this stuff. But anyway, I don't know.
Wow.
But I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm so I keep like I didn't know the CFL was that old. I mean, I guess when you think of football, us being Americans, we keep thinking
Yeah,
we started
exactly.
football, and there's nobody's older than us. But I guess we even I guess we're wrong. But you know, so if they do join the XFL in 2023, that'd be their 150th year.
And
That's
of
So
course
crazy.
that'll be a major check for the XFL. They can get someone like the Argonauts with that storied franchise. To be able to get something
yeah,
like that. Even if they are maybe not as powerful as they used to be, or as you say, losing money, but still, the name recognition alone would give credence to the XFL a bit more.
yeah, but like I don't know. I mean, it's still early, as
Yeah.
far as this
Oh yeah.
XFL, and then who knows what's going to happen? Argonauts, they might get sold. I don't know, but like I said, it seems like one company just owns even the small sports teams in Toronto. It just seems like they own them all. So it's just like,
Have
oh,
Is
have they?
isn't
Oh, go ahead.
now I was gonna say, isn't Bon Jovi like a part owner also, like a minority owner?
he
'Cause I know
could be.
I know he's in a Canadian Football League somewhere. I'm not sure if it's the Argonauts.
I didn't. They didn't mention him at all.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe
Maybe
probably a
he
different
just
team
does
then.
concerts there. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up to see what. Because I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if he did. I mean, a lot of performers have own parts of teams. Not maybe not a huge part, but they do have a small interest in it. But so that was my Canadian football news.
Well, I appreciate that, young man. That is a big deal. But I just didn't have any comment on it other than, dude, if they were to really move over, you guys already used the word, it would lend credence. It would make it real. But I think a lot of people are still going by the mindset that the XFL, Vince McMahon, they're still related. So they don't take the XFL serious. Even though
Right.
these people that own the NFL group, I'm sorry, the XFL group, they're looking to make it real. But we have a proliferation of leagues now of football. I just don't know if there's a market for it. But hey, good luck, boys.
Yeah,
More football is good if it's entertaining.
and I agree with Big Dog that it would be a gamble for Toronto just to right off the bat join the
Jeez.
XFL too. And I mean, really? Why don't we wait and see if this is going to fly? But I guess we'll see. I guess in time we'll see. But as of today, that's the word.
I hear you. Okay, fair enough,
Or-
gentlemen. I'm short on time because I have a training class that I have to attend at 10 o'clock. As you know, I'm trained. Well, for those that know and don't know, Jedi.tax. We are training about 10 individuals for this upcoming season, and I decided to do it in the off season, individual training, and it's working out much better that way. And I have a session starting at 10 o'clock. So
okay.
Okay, awesome.
One last
we
thing.
have
Just
time, big dog. No, no, of course we still have time. Go ahead.
back to the NBA in the finals. I just wanted to say I didn't know this, But there is, of course, you hear all the side bets. It's usually the mayor of Phoenix will get into a side bet with the mayor of Milwaukee.
Sure.
The owners, I didn't know, have a side bet going because I didn't know who the owners, part owners were, or minority owners, excuse me. Evidently, Aaron Rodgers owns a small minority partnership or ownership in the Milwaukee Bucks. And there is a fellow Arizona Cardinal that I didn't know, and he just got this last year in January. Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals, of course, legend in Arizona, is part minority owner in the Cardinals. I mean, in the Phoenix Suns. And it was asked to him. In fact, he came on the jump, and it was asked if there was a bet going on there, because they talked about exactly what I said about the mayor stuff. And Larry Fitzgerald laughed and he said, "Yes, there is a side bet between Aaron and myself." He's all, "I can't divulge what it is, but there is a side bet going." And I was surprised because I didn't know Aaron Rodgers had a minority ownership in the Bucks. So kudos to him, and of course to Larry Fitzgerald for being smart enough to invest in the Suns at the right time. They hadn't made the playoffs in 11 years. He gets part ownership into it. All of a sudden they get CP3, and now they're in the finals on the possible cusp of winning the world title. I'm pretty sure his money's going to go up. What was that? I'm sorry.
Well, you had that pause there. I was going to say, yes, Bon Jovi does have part of the Toronto team.
Okay.
Or part of that group.
Oh, okay, okay. I get you.
And I did not know that group was interested in buying the Buffalo Bills a couple of years ago. Or last year.
Oh, that was the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted to buy the Bills last year. I think I wasn't aware of that, but they were looking into it.
Good morning, Luis Noriega. How old is U.S. football? Gentlemen, you guys have an answer on that one? I don't know.
100 years.
Well, the NFL's 101.
Yeah. Well, I guess college would be older than that, right?
Well, I was just wondering if there was something before, the NFL merged, made themselves the NFL.
Yeah, I guess I got that. I was thinking pro, but I guess the colleges were already playing in the 1800s. Well, didn't Harvard and somebody play the first game or something like that?
It might have been Harvard and
Princeton or something weird like that.
Well, here it is. The history of American football can be traced to early versions of rugby football and association football. They have their originations in the game from the United Kingdom. American football resulted from several major divergences from association football and rugby. Most notably, the rule changes were instituted by Walter Camp, a Yale University athlete and coach who is considered to be the father of American football. So they can trace it. The origin of professional football, can be traced back to 1892.
Okay.
With Pudge Heffelfinger's $500 or estimated $13,246.55 in 2019 dollars contract to play a game in the Allegheny Athletic Association against the Pittsburgh Athletic Club. In 1920, the American Professional Football Association was formed, and it changed its name to the NFL 2 years later, and eventually became the major of American football.
So are they older than baseball? Or when did baseball first start?
No. The Cincinnati Reds are the oldest active organization. If I'm not mistaken, Red Stockings. Thank you. They date back to the 1870s or 1880s as professional group. They're the oldest. But baseball was played in the Civil War. It looks like we can go back as far as 1832.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. But even then, the whole story of Abner Doubleday it's folklore. There was absolutely no truth. When they started doing the dates, they were like, we're off by a lot. It's not like, well, we said it was July 4th and it was really July 2nd. No, there's more to it. But it looks like...
Well, yeah. I imagine there's lots of... Yeah, but anyway, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah. but that's the story that was going around for so long.
Yeah. So a little bit of trivia. Thank you, Lewis. Good morning, Lewis. Thank you for seeing us here this morning. So what else do we have, gentlemen? We have about 10 minutes before I was at 9:30 when I was going to call it anyway.
But
Okay, go ahead, Almighty.
now you said uh, pro football, like before the NFL started in 1920, right?
The
Yes,
NFL.
the league, yes.
The NFL. So why did they celebrate 100 years in 2019?
Because
Well, actually,
1920 is the first year, right? Scorekeeper, isn't that the way it works?
well, very good.
You're starting your first year.
As a matter of fact, that's the way we celebrate here on NDB Media. Because if you're very correct. Look at your birthday. When you celebrate your first birthday, you're saying you're 1 year old. Well, yes, you're saying you have completed a year of life. So that's the way most people consider it. So when you look at 1920 to 2020, it is 100 years complete. But when they started celebrating in 1919, it would be more correct, such as what NDB Media did. We are entering our 100th year, or in September of this year, NDB Media will be entering its 14th year on air. That's crazy.
Okay, well, it's just a question I had because it's like, wait a minute, that's not.
Most people celebrate it on the actual number, like from 2000 to 2010, you've completed 10 years.
It was just a question. I just didn't. I had the same problem with the Cavaliers when they were celebrating 50 years in the same year when they started in 1970, but yet it was 2019 was still their 50th year. I'm like, and how does that? What am I missing? What?
Don't worry about that, brother. I'm gonna have to look back in Dodgers history, and it was a joke. It was somewhere in the 90s, maybe even early 2000s, where the Dodgers really just weren't doing all that well, and they were celebrating an anniversary of Dodger Stadium for the year. And people were like, "Well, wait a minute, which year are they going by, and are they celebrating early?" Like,
Oh
what the
yeah,
hell
I remember that. Yes.
that was a joke, dude. And I
Anyway,
believe it was under Frank McCourt when that happened.
I don't know. It just confused me, and I was trying to work around it, and I maybe they were celebrating 100 years because they got together in Canton in 1919, and they were okay, that's great, but
I mean, it seemed like with the Dodger situation, the regular people, the Joe Blows of the world, I like Scorekeeper when he made that face. That we all celebrated the regular, the way we think about it, like 50 years, for me, 1966. So in 2016, I was 50, which is not correct. You're entering your 51st year. I guess the easiest way to say it would be the intellectuals that have all the PhDs and doctorates and such do it the same way Scorekeeper does. The way they number it. So that was a whole Dodger thing. You could tell who was who by who was saying it.
Well, okay, I appreciate that, big dog. But the funny thing about that was no one could actually pin it down.
And yeah, no one could give an actual answer.
Because it was actually off by a year. It didn't matter how you did it. Were they talking about the Dodgers moving to LA and playing the Coliseum? Or was it when Dodger Stadium opened or began construction? Which day was it? And they were celebrating an anniversary of Dodger Stadium. And
they just wanted to make money.
They had nothing else because the team was not good that year.
Maybe it was just that new math.
And you missed the new. Oh, very good. Oh, that was funny.
Since I know we only have a few minutes left. Anybody either of you want to comment about Mr. Ohtani, Mr. Shohei Ohtani, becoming the first, as far as I think it's true, the first two-way player in the All-Star game as far as he is going to be a pitcher and going to be batting. Voted in both on both. He's voted in on the pitching staff, and he was voted and voted, of course, as a starter by the fans and such.
So he's going to be doing both, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
gonna be and they said he will be pulling the whoever the manager is going to be at the All-Star game said he will pull double duty. Well, we appointed him onto the pitching staff, so he will pitch at least an inning, and of course the All-Star game voted him as a starter, so of course he will play as a starter, but he will pitch.
I don't believe anyone else ever.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, and I did want to ask you that.
Babe Ruth, not even close.
No,
not for All-Star game. It wasn't even close.
I think he started hitting his home runs after he stopped pitching, right?
Well, okay. The vast majority of his pitching was done prior to the Yankees, but he did pitch consistently. But
with
folks, he pitched exclusively with the Red Sox, and they would have him hit from time to time, and he was good. Well, the Yankees brought him over, and they said, this guy hits a ton. A ton for a ton. Hits a ton. But anyway, the thing with him was he still pitched with the Yankees.
Yeah. Throughout
his career. But folks, I remember 1 or 2 years where his ERA was in the 5s. So
yeah.
Wasn't
he a pretty good pitcher though when he was with the Red Sox?
Oh yes, he was. But he just hit so well. He altered the game.
And I guess and Shohei hit his league-leading 30-second home run yesterday. And I guess it was a moonshot in Seattle that it actually went into the third deck, which is only a handful of people have done it. I believe it was 476 feet or something or other that he hit it.
Yeah, that's a gargantuan blast, no matter what.
And of course,
there's very few people that have done that in Seattle, period, because of the weather up there.
Yeah, what's the record scorekeeper for home runs before the All-Star game? Because they say he's coming close to it.
You got me on that one. That's good.
Because I know that. I mean, and of course, it's all the keyboard warriors, as I like to call them. That they're projecting his home run total for the year already.
Oh.
And he is projected at 61 right now. It's gone up because he's been hitting more and more. I think over the last 12 games he's hit, or the last 16 games he's hit 12 home runs, or some outrageous number. So the projections keep going higher. Because I remember, I think it was a week and a half ago, they were projecting him at about 52.
Yeah.
But since he's gone on this little streak of his, as of yesterday or as of last night's game, they projected his home run total for the year to be 61. Which, of course, as we all know, that's a magical number.
Now, will he be credited as being the actual home run leader if he breaks it? Without being steroid-induced?
No.
Yeah,
he would. I'm just asking. I mean,
much as I like
Barry
to say,
Bonds is the home run record holder.
72? 73. 73. Yeah, I don't think Ohtani's going to get there. But, and of course, Barry Bonds
remember, we passed the halfway mark.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that, yes.
Yeah,
Did he cheat? Oh, good God. Come on.
He just didn't get caught.
So, it's obviously he did. So
there for a year. There for that brief period when it seemed like the record was getting broken every year. It's like it's become a joke.
Yeah.
Because how long did Maris's record last until it actually got broken? Well, Maris was 1961 all the way through to
72?
No.
71?
No. McGuire.
Oh no! Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Hank Aaron's when he broke Babe Ruth's record. I'm sorry, my bad.
That was 1973, April 8th, I believe, somewhere around there.
I think because McGuire, that was early 90s.
Well, remember the
9
strike year was not is 98
98. Oh,
because the strike year was 94. They
That was
came
a
back
fun.
in 95. Yeah.
That was a fun year. Him and Sosa, they
yeah.
brought baseball back. Those two guys.
Yeah,
With
after
that
the
whole-
strike. Yeah, they
Yeah.
needed it, even
Yep.
though it was steroid induced, but they still
It
needed
was
it.
still fun to watch, though, man.
It was
Oh,
still. I'm not saying it wasn't fun to watch because at baseball they needed that desperately after that strike year.
you guys
Yep.
need to remember that attendance did not return after the strike. Baseball had problems in 95, even with the successful wild card. 96, 97. Baseball attendance was below consistently its pre-strike. And then McGuire and Socia went effing nuts.
That was fun.
And no matter how many home runs Socia hit,
Sosa.
Socia.
Sosa did not hit a lot of runs.
I'm gonna say Socia no. This is my definition of great, folks. No matter what Sosa did, he's still not a great baseball player, and he hit 500 and some home runs.
Yeah.
McGuire is not a great baseball player, even though he broke the record and has about 560 something, just ahead of Mickey Mantle. Even though they did the Herculean deeds that they did, we know that Mark McGuire clearly, we know the story, and I've talked about this. I don't want to relitigate it, but I'm doing it now. McGuire said the only reason why he took steroids was because he grew tired of hearing the incessant, "Oh, you're hurt again. Oh, you're hurt again. You're hurt again." Remember, his calves couldn't take it. He couldn't walk. He really was done. So when McGuire himself says, "Steroids didn't help me hit a ball," au contraire, you dumb motherfucker. Actually, it did. Because you couldn't play the game anymore. You physically couldn't play. And because of steroids, you were able to play. Do not ever tell me that steroids doesn't make that, because he himself said it. And,
Okay.
I jumped all over him for that one. Remember Big Dog? I mean, he said it.
Yep. And back to Shohei. I believe he also, with his 32nd home run, actually his 32nd home run, a couple of days ago, he broke Hideki Matsui's number for, I guess, a Japanese
Foreign?
player.
Oh,
Yeah,
Japanese.
foreign.
Okay.
Or it could be foreign. No, I think it's Japanese player because there's a lot of foreign players in
Yeah.
Dominican Republic that have hit tons of home runs. So,
And you guys need to remember that Hideki Matsui hit that for the season.
yes. And he's not even, well, I mean, are they at the halfway point already?
Yes, they've passed. 81 games is the halfway point.
Are they playing 162 this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. The way everybody was
Yeah.
cutting, games off the
I mean,
season.
either way, if it's fewer games, they're way past halfway point then at that point. So All-Star Game is this Tuesday. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, baseball is one of the few, there's only 4 major sports, but they're one of the few sports that actually tries to do it almost at the halfway point, or as close to the halfway point as you can get it. Because in the NBA, it's usually close to 2/3 of the season is gone before they have their All-Star game.
But that's when they've done it, though, isn't it? Traditionally, they've done it because they avoid winter. Isn't that the reason?
Yeah, they do it in the end of actually in March.
Now,
Yeah.
with hockey, they don't give a rat's ass. That's just when they do it.
Yeah.
So, and then football again. We all knew what the Pro Bowl was, and they've butchered that one, but that's okay.
They've screwed that over so many times. At least they're going back to Hawaii. At least give the guys
Okay.
a Hawaiian vacation.
I do have a congratulations. We do have breaking news that came over the wire a little while ago about who won Wimbledon. Before I get to that, there has been, take this for what it is, no matter my opinion on the movie, Black Widow is poised to capture $87.8 million,
Good.
which is now going to be a post-COVID record.
Yeah.
We're going to hear that for a while.
I wonder how.
87.8 million is a lot of Quan, no matter what.
I wonder how much
That's
money
all
was.
domestic box office.
No, I don't understand that. I wonder how much the Disney Plus money took away from that. It'd be interesting to see
Right.
how
They
many.
were offering it for either $29.95 or
Yeah,
$30.
30 bucks. I mean that's stupid. And it went up because it used to only be 20. They were charging 19.99 for a
It's
while.
because it worked.
Yeah,
So
no.
they took it up. And this is a primo one, too.
I can understand if you have a family and you have 4 or 5 people that are going to watch it all at once, or that's what you used to go to the theaters with. But like for myself, did I go by myself or one other person? $30 at home? No, I don't think so.
But
No.
here's the thing it's $30 for numerous showings, isn't it? You can see it as
Uh,
much as you want.
you can see it as much as you want till it comes out. I believe they said it was going to come out in
I don't know if it's a 2 week
October.
window
No, it's October.
or no. I when you buy the movie, I don't know if you have it for 2 weeks or for 30 days.
You have it till it comes out on regular Disney Plus. I read it yesterday.
So then
Uh,
there it is.
yeah, so for $30 you can watch it till I think October 7th, because then that's when it becomes Disney Plus for everyone.
So apparently, there's a fire that's threatening California's power supply. It's out of control in Southern Oregon. We may be in trouble. This may be statewide. There may be some power issues coming very, very soon. And this news just
Oh
broke
yeah,
earlier
yeah.
today.
California's on a possible brownout. The
So
entire state.
the fire started in Oregon.
It's in Southern Oregon and it's out of control. Yep.
Okay. So if you have a southern wind, you guys might get a contact buzz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then there was a final one in Wimbledon. So forgive me on that one. Let me see if I can get to it again.
Okay. While you're doing that one, I have some Olympic news.
Go.
There is a equestrian rider that has an extremely famous father, and he is very proud. He's a proud papa, and of course, now that there are no fans in Tokyo, I don't know how he's going to be able to watch her. I guess, but Jessica Springsteen was named to the U.S. equestrian team for the Tokyo Olympics, and her dad, yes, is Bruce Springsteen. So he is
Well, he could always say he'll do a concert at the Olympics.
True. Yeah, he could be a performer. There you go. He could perform the national anthem or something and be there for her.
That's right.
So congratulations to his daughter. She is. It's a jump. She's on the equestrian jumping team, and it's her name is Jessica, and she will be riding her 12-year-old stallion Don Juan. She's 29. She's 29 years old.
Wow.
She was also an alternate on the 2012 London Summer Games.
Sorry, switching gears. Wimbledon 2021 tennis. Ash Barty, an
Bless you.
incredible victory over Karolina Pliskova in the final. Australian World Tennis #1 Ash Barty praises spectators and their coach after her 3-set victory over Karolina Pliskova in the final at Wimbledon on Saturday afternoon. Congratulations to her. She's the first Australian, I believe, in 39 years to win. That's a big deal. I was going to say 40 years, but I'm guessing 39. That's crazy. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. We're good. We're out. This is Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. I want to thank everyone for joining us. And we're good. We're done.
Take care.
And we are out.
See you
Hey!
guys. Be safe.